Blacksburg, Virginia. Tonight, the biggest football game this tiny town in the Valley has ever seen. Virginia Tech's 62-point breakout against Syracuse seems like ages ago. Last week in Morgantown was nothing short of a great escape. It is gone! It is gone! Is this a team of destiny? Or was that a glimpse of vulnerability? The Miami Hurricanes have a long history of spoiling championship dreams and living out a few of their own. Last year, they humbled UCLA's title hopes. And with a win tonight, it's the Canes that have clear sights on crashing the BCS party. The 19th-ranked Miami Hurricanes and the 2nd-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies tonight from Blacksburg. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin. Welcome once again to Saturday primetime college football here on ESPN. Tonight, Blacksburg, Virginia, and I can tell you, since they've been playing college football here, they have never had a game this big. Let's set the scene for you. The locals earlier this week, when Tennessee leapfrogged them in the BCS standings, they were livid. Well, now we know what has happened. Tennessee has lost today, so they are out of the national title picture. But my question is, yesterday, Frank Beamer told us, he said, I think it's a blessing that Tennessee jumped beyond us because it means my guys have got to continue to fight and be aggressive, not be passive and hold on to something. And the point he makes is very well taken. Passive play against this Miami football team, and Virginia Tech will leave this stadium tonight not in the BCS picture as well. What about Miami? We know they have played a murderous schedule. Ohio State, Penn State, Florida State. Butch Davis told me, hey, at the end of September, I knew the state of my football team. But the truth is, right now, they are playing the best football that they have played the entire season. This is by far the quickest and fastest team that Virginia Tech will have played. And keep one other thing in mind. Conference is still at stake. They know they can totally rain on the BCS parade with an upset of the Hokies here tonight. So the brouhaha in Blacksburg, we're just about set. Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten standing by after we pause for this message.
You know how you're supposed to eat Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza?
Bill doesn't get it. Backwards, Bill. The other way. Backwards, Bill. Backwards. That boy. Now bite it. Billy. Bite it, Billy.
Jill's not afraid to eat her stuffed crust backwards. Everybody knows how to eat stuffed crust pizza backwards. With a ring of cheese baked right into the crust, it's the most fun you can have with a pizza. A large one topping is $9.99.
Jill's made of tougher stuff than Bill.
Take a bite, Billy. Backwards, Bill. Keep your chin up, Bill.
Stuffed crust, another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Exciting episode of...
Welcome to the age of Vega. Sony Vega, part of the Sony home entertainment universe.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Pizza Hut, home of the stuffed crust pizza, another one of the best pizzas under one roof. Lane Stadium packed to capacity. That was a live shot you were watching coming out of the tunnel as the Hokies, #2 ranked, play host to the Hurricanes of Miami. And Mike Gottfried, the young man who has been the miracle worker for Virginia Tech, is this fellow right here, #7, Michael Vick. They redshirted him last year so he could travel and see all the kind of situations as far as the road that he would encounter. And Mike, I tell you, he really has been a miracle worker. He has not been deterred. He has not been bothered by any situation, particularly last week.
255 yards passing against West Virginia, set the field goal up that won the game. But I think, Ron, the key player for Virginia Tech is Chiron Stith, the tailback, because Miami's defense is so fast sideline to sideline. They need an inside punch, and they need to get it early.
To me, the most important person on the field for Miami, Kenny Kelly, has to play consistently for them to win this football game.
And he'll get a lot of chances to look at a lot of defenses from Bud Foster, and he can't afford to take the hit in his back and fumble the football. He needs to know when it's coverage, and he needs to know when the blitz is coming. And the mismatch that he has outside, Santana Moss, wide receiver. Virginia Tech does not want to get isolated on Santana Moss. They have to double him to be effective.
Well, Butch Davis's club won the toss. They have deferred, so that means that Virginia Tech and Michael Vick will be on the field first. You see his numbers in 5 seasons as the head coach. And here is the quiet leader here in Blacksburg. I think a well-kept secret, but this guy just keeps getting it done, and they win a lot of football games every year. Frank Beamer, 13th season, and has some awfully good numbers and one of the best reputations of anybody around as far as being a special teams coach. The weather tonight, it is absolutely marvelous. That thing says comfortable. I'll tell you, it's supposed to drop into the 40s tonight. The wind is not a bother, and it is a situation where we don't have to worry about wind. We don't have to worry about rain. It is up to the players, and that's how it will be decided. Let's check on the sideline while we have a second with Adrian Karsten.
Ron, thank you very much. You can feel the electricity down here tonight. All the fans realize that throughout the season, the Hokies have really hung their hat on this anonymous us against the world attitude. That is up until this week. As the Michael Vicks and Corey Moores of this team began to get more face time on television, get more press, there was always one man, John Engelberger, who maintained his silent but violent attitude and approach in preparation for Miami. He continued to shun the media. Well, now, Ron, he is concerned that maybe this team has had too much attention. The point is, Engelberger has always controlled the mentality of this team. He knows it, his teammates know it, and the coaches know it. His actions tonight, Ron, will speak louder than any words possibly could, and the way he plays will have a big impact on the outcome of this game.
Well said, Adrian, because as much attention as Moore gets, the most complete defensive player that Virginia Tech has is he himself. Well, we look at the numbers right here, and it's number 38, Chiron Stiff, one of the deep men back. Crossland will kick it off.
Ron, special teams is so big in this ball game because Miami's good in special teams too, but somebody's going to get an edge in field position, and the early start is important in this ball game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Whoever comes out of the box. Very high, very long out of the back of the end zone. So they'll take it at the 20, and it gives us an opportunity to look at the Dell computer starting lineups for Virginia Tech. Michael Vick, can he work another miracle tonight? Stiff, who Mike thinks is the most important player here tonight. Ferguson is the fullback. The receivers, the big play guy is Andre Davis. And up front with the offensive line, they are now healthy. The last time we were in here, Keith Short was hobbled. Danasi was starting for him, but everything back intact, and that has been a very solid group for Virginia Tech all year long. Nope, they're going to go with the run straight ahead, and it's Stiff who will take it for one very tough yard. And let's look at the starters defensively for the Miami Hurricanes. That front four is very active and very tough, but keep an eye on number 92 from Sulphur Springs, Texas, Damian Lewis. He is outstanding. The linebackers, they're the heart and soul of this Miami defensive team. Morgan, Webster, Campbell, they will put a hat on you, and very quickly. And in the secondary, Rump and Myers, excellent corner. Rump, a little bit of a chance taker, and he's going to have to be careful tonight. Here comes the blitz right up the middle. They pick it up nicely. Now Vick under pressure, and he does what he does best. That's run out of problems, out of bounds. Lewis is the man who was in hot pursuit, number 92, the guy we were just talking about.
And, Ron, you have to anchor down number 92 quick. You got to establish an inside game to really anchor him down. Now, the other thing I see here early is Al Blades, the safety, number 7, dropping down from the safety position to help against Michael Vick in the run.
Webster also coming with pressure, so now it's 3rd down and 5. You see Vick averaging 5 yards per rush this year. Pressure from the outside. Vick steps up, and he's going to be sacked, and that's going to be grounding. The worst thing that he could have done.
They're going to call his knee down, Ron. Michael Burrow, number 93, with a good hit. So a good defensive series by Miami.
Butch Davis down the sideline quickly, and he wanted grounding called on that play. Of course, that is a loss of down. Kibble to punt it away, and he's excellent. Santana Moss is the deep man for Miami. This is a very, very high kick. Moss runs away from it. Now it takes a big Miami bounce and is going to be touchdown at around the 35-yard line. 41 yards in the punt, nothing on the return. Kelly will start. He will have a true freshman, Clinton Portis, at tailback tonight. Fulcher, the fullback. The receivers, Moss and Wayne, big play guys, and Bubba Frank, gigantic tight end, and they love to throw to him. Up front with the offensive line, Mercier is the best. Ty Wise playing extremely well this year. The crowd to their feet, trying to get this defense going after him on the very first serve. Fakes it to Portis, and he's going to go on top on first down. Got his man, flag is down, and it's Reggie Wayne all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Ron, Nick Sorensen pushed off on Reggie Wayne. A good play call by Larry Coker to start the ball game on the road. Hits the deep pass. Good play action fake. And Reggie Wayne with a good route.
Reggie Wayne is the guy who killed him last year with 2 touchdowns, had over 100 yards.
Pass interference against the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Folks, the air has gone out of the stadium here. These people are sitting in stunned amazement as that play went for 52 yards on first down by Miami.
There's the push by number 14, Nick Sorensen. Reggie Wayne still makes the catch. They get the ball at the 8.
13. Straight ahead with the run. Hawks makes the tackle on Portis, and now let's quickly check the Tech defense. We did not have an opportunity with that 52-yard pass. Engelberger and Moore. These are the guys that really do an outstanding job against run and pass. The linebackers active group, particularly Michael Hawks, and in the secondary, well, it's a group that's going to be tested tonight, as you've already seen. Charlton and Midget. Midget has been hampered by a groin. We may see him some at safety tonight. Second and 8. They try to run the sweep, and Portis, the freshman, going to be tackled at the 10-yard line. Anthony Midget took his feet out from under him, and now it's a third down situation.
Ron, Kenny Kelly with a nice throw on first down. He's thrown 14 touchdown passes, but he's also ran 2 into the end zone. So he just needs to make good judgments down here against pressure defense by Virginia Tech.
That's big Greg LaFleur, number 79. You see him as they break the huddle. Kelly confronted with a third down. The line to make is the 3. Virginia Tech shows blitz. Pressure on the outside. Got a man open in the end zone, and he just overthrew Andre King. Oh, buddy, he wished he had that one all over again.
And, Ron, he didn't have to throw as quick because they did a good job, his offensive unit, of protecting him. Kenny Kelly's going to pressure, he's going to come off the corner, and there's the good block, so he had a little bit more time to try to get Andre King.
Crossland to attempt the field goal of 27 yards from the near hash mark. 9 of 15 on the year, his longest 47. And he's got it. 28 yards, they will say officially, and will take a timeout. 11:44 left in his opening quarter, and it is Miami who strikes first. 3-0. The Hurricanes go on top. We'll be right back.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Mornings, evenings, late nights? Only on ESPN.
3 years ago, my IT guys told me there'd be 2 kinds of businesses. Those with a vision to master the internet, and those without. And we didn't want to be the second kind. Then Dell came to see us. They showed us how to use the internet for direct relationships with our customers, suppliers, everyone who's a part of our business. With Dell support, there's no limit to where I can take this company. We always knew we needed the internet. We just didn't know how badly. Be direct. Dell.
Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
They have substance, integrity. They're the individual pieces that contribute to a greater good, making lives less worrisome, futures more secure. They are the agents of New York Life. Their humanity is the stone with which this company was built. They are why New York Life is the company you keep.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different.
Hey! You left your wallet on the trunk!
Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport-inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Isuzu. We don't make cars because life is too big for cars. And by New York Life. Integrity, humanity, and strength are what make New York Life the company you keep. Mike, an interesting number as they prepare to kick this off. Virginia Tech, you asked the question, how many times have they trailed this year? Well, there it is, for 1 minute and 15 seconds this season, and that was last week.
Now, West Virginia got ahead of them, and, of course, Virginia Tech came back and won, so that's probably going to help Virginia Tech somewhere along the line in this ball game. They're behind now, need field position badly.
Stith is the deep man again. Cross on the last one, kicked it out of the back of the end zone. Left footer. This one is going to be returnable, I believe. Yep, Stith yard deep in the end zone. And he will barely make it to the 15-yard line. Good coverage for the special teams. Ward downfield along with Popovich to make the stop.
This will be the fastest team Virginia Tech plays all year, and the best team that they're going to come against.
Mike, if on the sideline during that timeout, if you're Ricky Battle, what were you saying to the redshirt freshman quarterback to calm him down?
Yeah, just settle down. The passes are there. He's trying to move a little too quick, trying to run, not letting his pattern develop.
It's Johnson, who just moved inside. They throw back to Johnson. Screen, 25, rather, out close to the 30-yard line, and that'll be the initial first down, 13 yards. Morgan on the stop.
Ron, the other thing Ricky Bustle needs to do, he needs to slow down the speed of Miami, because
anybody do that? Yeah.
You do just like you did there, a little screen outside, a little draw inside, a little trap inside. Try to make them overreact to some of the things that you're doing.
Davis and Johnson at the top of the screen. Running play, I mean, there is virtually nothing there as the linebacker, Webster, along with Sweeney, filling that hole very, very quickly. Mike, the other question in this ballgame, can Miami do something that other clubs have not been able to do, and that is just rush the down four and cover with 7?
Without a doubt, Ron. 92, Damian Lewis is as good a defensive lineman. They've had a lot of great ones when you talk about Jerome Brown and Cortez Kennedy and Russell Maryland. Damian Lewis is in that same kind of mode. They're going to have to double team him.
Second down and 9. Pressure on Beck, got it away, and the ball is dropped. And boy, Virginia Tech was fortunate they didn't have a holding call on that one, because Damian Lewis was having his jersey taken off.
They doubled him, Ron, and that's what they're going to have to do. Keith Short and Matt Lair, the left guard, they're going to have to make sure that they're responsible for him. You're going to see number 92 come up, and right there's the double on him. Michael-Vick waited till the last second. Good pressure by William Joseph.
Burrow actually is the one who was having his jersey separated from his shoulder pads. Third down and 9. Right over the middle to Hall. across midfield, and a first down for the Hokies.
And now, Ron, just exactly what you talked about. I think Michael Vick is now settled down a little bit, because the last couple plays he could have run out of there. He stays in the pocket, finds Ricky Hall over the middle right behind the linebackers. Al Blades makes a tackle, but Michael Vick just setting his feet, waiting for the pass pattern to open. Still haven't seen any option early in the ball game, and you know Michael Vick's going to run some option against Miami.
Like they only got 10 guys in the field, don't they? Miami? Virginia Tech called a timeout.
They only have 10.
They only
right.
had 10.
They should have stayed with the play.
They should have stayed with the play. So we'll take a break. 9:53 remaining opening quarter. It's the Hurricanes on top.
At Nokia, we've discovered that adjusting the color of your phone can be this easy. With Express-On color covers for the Nokia 5100 series wireless phone. Nokia. Connecting people.
What happens when a company that specializes in trucks unveils the most powerful SUV in its class? Introducing the new 205 horsepower, go anywhere, Isuzu Amigo.
We gotta stop letting these things out for test drives.
It moves!
Coming this Thanksgiving.
It is coming! It is coming!
Only in theaters. Tom Hanks.
I'm officially freaked out now.
Tim Allen.
To infinity and beyond.
Toy Story 2.
Ride like the wind, bullseye!
Rated G. Starts Wednesday, November 24th at a theater near you.
Alabama-Auburn, the Iron Bowl. This is as big as it gets in college football.
Alabama-Auburn at 7:30 next Saturday on ESPN.
We are back, just under 10 minutes to play in this opening quarter. It is Miami 3-0 off the strength of a 28-yard field goal by Crosby. And right now, for the first time, Virginia Tech across midfield into Miami territory. Here comes the blitz from the outside. Vick is going to run it up into the pocket, and he picks up big yardage. In fact, it is enough for the first down, a gain of 11, and that's where he kills you. As a defensive coordinator, you say, I've got it just exactly where I want it, and then all of a sudden he breaks for 11, as there is a flag also thrown deep downfield.
I like what Virginia Tech is starting the game with Michael Vick.
Personal foul called against Virginia Tech. Now, was it after the play was over? So would it be a first down and 15? Or did they take it back to the previous spot?
After the first down was obtained, we have a dead ball, personal foul against the offense, 15 yards from the end of the play, 1st and 10.
Ron, what I said I liked is the fact that Michael Vick is in the shotgun. You see now it opened up, and he just gets a nice draw play there where he gets a fake to stiff and then works up inside. But I like what Ricky Bussel's doing, putting him in the shotgun to get him a look at the rush. Early in the game, they were putting pressure on him. Now they got him in the shotgun.
4 wide receivers for Virginia Tech. Here comes the blitz off the corner. They fake the run, and they throw it back to the near side to Parham. And he able to have a short gain as they try to confuse this Miami defense a bit, and it didn't go for much.
And Virginia Tech bench wanted a piling on. Fitzgerald over here making the tackle.
gain of 1. It will be 2nd down and 9. And if you have just joined us, 3-0 Miami took the opening drive, and on the strength of a 52-yard pass to Reggie Wayne, then they could not push it into the end zone, and they kicked the field goal. Pressure, throws it, and should have been intercepted by Webster. And that was a very freshman play by Vic. He has a habit of jumping when pressure is on him, and when he jumped, he got the boom lord on him by Lewis.
Ron, he ran into a stunt here, a twist in the defensive line. Damian Lewis is going to come to the outside. He leaves his protection again too early. A freshman mistake and gets hit by Lewis. Ball should have been intercepted by Nate Webster. It's right in his hands. He intercepted 2 last week.
So it's 3rd down. The line to make is the 41 of Miami. Vic got away with one there. Russell will talk with him about that. Blitz comes, they pick it up, and he throws the ball well away from the receiver Carter. And it's going to be a 4th down situation. And right now in the chess match, just slightly, Miami is ahead as far as outguessing and confusing the offense of Virginia Tech.
And they're getting pressure on Michael Vick with just a 3- and 4-man rush. That's not good for Virginia Tech.
Jimmy Kibble, he was not pleased with his first punt, but good heavens, it was high. Not returnable. It did not take his kind of bounce. Another great high coverage kick. The spiral will not turn over, and it's going to come out of bounds a little bit short. And let's see what they spotted. He is walking now across the 20 to the 23, still walking, and he will say at the 25-yard line is where Miami will take it over. So only a 25-yard punt. We'll be right back.
Mike Hamby of Courtesy Dodge here to tell you about the 2000 Dodge Ram trucks. I've got 2000 four-wheel drives for $309 a month, two-wheel drives for $288 a month, Dodge Ram quad cabs for $299 a month, four-wheel drive, Dodge Ram quad cabs for $297 a month, and Dodge Ram quad cabs for $289 a month. Folks, come and see them while they last.
These days, it seems that you can buy jewelry just about anywhere. The difference between an okay piece of jewelry and an exceptional piece is the workmanship, design, and quality of materials. At Massey's, we carry beautiful jewelry from the finest designers and manufacturers around the world. At Massey's, you are guaranteed excellent craftsmanship and the highest quality materials without having to pay extra. Don't just own a piece of jewelry, own a masterpiece from Massey's Fine Jewelry.
Grandma, I quit my job.
What?
Done.
What about that rent you promised, Mark?
Internet.
Yeah?
The idea is giant, and I can work out of the house.
This house?
Yeah. Oh, I need a few things.
Data ports, meeting rooms, 24-hour business services, and catering.
What does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
Find out why more business travelers choose us over anyone else. Today's Holiday Inn.
3-0 Miami leads it. Mike, what keys do we look for tonight?
Well, playing against Virginia Tech's defense, number one, you got to get big plays, and they've got one to Reggie Wayne early in the ballgame. Make yards on first down. Don't get behind the sticks, especially on this defense, because they can put 8 on the line of scrimmage. Minimize lost yardage plays, because that brings the crowd into the ballgame. No turnovers. Miami had 5 turnovers against Virginia Tech last year. Do not lay the ball on the ground. And you got a shot to control this defense.
Good look at Reggie Wayne. He's the one who had the 52-yard reception earlier. He got single coverage against Sorensen on that one. Portis. Not much there against this very tough run defense. Moore, the first man to get to him. And let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
The heart and soul of the Virginia Tech defense, John Engelberger, who I talked about before the kickoff, got kicked in the ankle. Very serious, not serious, but painful injury in the first defensive series. He came out of the game. They took his shoe off, retaped his ankle. He had some ice on it. Quickly, he got his shoe back on. Remember what I said about him controlling the mentality of this game, even though he's not in there now. All of his teammates saw him get the shoe back on, jump right back up, and wants to get back into the game now.
So on the other side of Moore is Cyrus, number 99 at defensive end for Virginia Tech. You see the double team on Moore. Pass right over the middle, and that's Franks. Big Daniel Bubba Franks. Called him Bubba because he couldn't say bottle when he was young, and then he got so big he said he's not a Daniel.
Ron, he is such a good-looking tight end, probably the #1 rated tight end in the country. Just does a nice job of running a curl route. They take the back out of the backfield, and now Bubba Franks is going to just curl right in this area right here. Open. Kenny Kelly gets him the ball, and they get a first down.
Ball is fumbled, picked up by Virginia Tech. That's Ike Charlton. Just what you said they couldn't allow to happen.
Ron, 5 turnovers last year, and they got beaten the football game, and that's the concern. Anytime you play Virginia Tech, just the snap didn't come up. Ike Charlton, the ball gets all the way out to the outside. Ike Charlton recovers. Now, Michael Vick has to make him pay for the turnover.
Snap never made complete connection. It got kicked in the middle of the line and just came bolting out of there. They're lucky that was not picked up and taken for a touchdown. Here's the option, and whoop, he may not run that many times more. Campbell is there to just ruin that option play by Michael Vick.
Chris Campbell has just made a beeline.
That's Ty Wise, the senior out of Pensacola, the offensive center.
Yeah, this ball never got up, and it would look like it was kicked then to the outside where Charlton picked it up. But again, now Miami's defense trying to do what Virginia Tech's defense did after the long pass play to Reggie Wayne. Stop him holding the 3.
Looking into the eyes of Nate Webster, the junior middle linebacker out of Miami. Pressure from the backside, and Vick, good heavens, that's Adrian Wilson, who just takes him down. And Vick, the ball has been turned over, and Vick is just now getting up as Campbell makes the recovery.
Ron, that was a play where he was going to come down the line, looked like it was going to be an option pass. The pass was covered. I was watching the wide receiver. He was doubled. Adrian Wilson came from the backside, obviously a blocking breakdown, and hits him in the back. There's the hit on the back. The ball comes down. Josh Redding got beat. Never came out on the backside. Wow, that's a good way to pick the back to turnover that you made.
So 1 turnover apiece. Quick drop. Got the pass out in the flat, and that's Moss. And, of course, what they like to do with Santana is to get him the ball quickly and then have you overcommit, and all of a sudden a 2-yard pass goes for 20 or 30 or a touchdown.
Ron, if Peter Warrick wasn't playing at Florida State, he'd be the #1 receiver in college football in Florida. Santana Moss came to Miami on a track scholarship. He's got some wheels. He can fly.
We are about to go under 6 minutes left in this opening quarter, and Miami so far has showed dominance defensively to cause the Hokies a lot of problems. Kelly with an audible. Draw play, and they bounce it outside with Portis. Has 5, has 10, down the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds, and that's going to be, well, we'll wait and see. A flag is down, but you probably could see his head turn as the tackle was attempted to be made in the 14-yard run. And let's see if, in fact, a face mask is added onto this. That'll be the call. So Frank Beamer right now wants to slow down what's happening. And let's check in with Brian Kenny.
Ron, Ben Leard grew up wanting to play between the hedges. The Auburn quarterback, back from a concussion, said he wouldn't miss it and making the most of it. Auburn leading Georgia 38-0, and they get Alabama next week.
Well, it was good, Mike. We got the Iron Bowl next week. That thing is shaping up as some kind of good ball game.
And Auburn, with a win, could get to a bowl game. And if they win tonight, looks like they're going to. And then next week, they're in a bowl game.
McPartland, number 35, comes in at fullback. That's Franks in motion. Throws the screen, and there's McPartland. Gets the block at the 15, at the 10, and he will go down at around the 6-yard line. Jamal Smith saved the touchdown, and boy, did they catch Virginia Tech at exactly the right call.
Ron, that was set up perfect. Again, give Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator, credit. Richard Mercier and Ty Wise both linemen, when they got out in space, did a nice job blocking. Watch number 62 and 64 right here now. Now it's something to be out there, but block somebody. Look at them. Both get good blocks and get McPartland down the field.
Tell you, if the ball doesn't get a hand on his foot, he is in the end zone for the touchdown. First and goal, Miami. Portis, right up the middle. There is nothing. Going to be gang tackle. Michael Hawks is the first man to get to him. It'll be second and goal.
Virginia Tech looks to me like they're playing with the weight of the world on their shoulders. They're playing tight. They haven't been able to loosen up in this ball game. Miami's put the pressure on them from the first time they had the football and not playing like the Virginia Tech we've seen play before, cutting it loose.
Engelberger back in the ball game for Virginia Tech, lining up at that right defensive end spot. Moss in motion. Kelly throws it right over the middle. Touchdown, Miami. And he got number 84, Andre King, for the 6-pointer. The thing that has been most impressive is Miami picking up whatever blitz Virginia Tech has thrown at them. That time, McPartland did an outstanding job of the pickup block.
Yeah, they kept the tight end in the backside. Andre King, who signed with Michigan, but never reported, then went into baseball, got the touchdown.
Crossland to attempt the extra point. 4:35 remaining, opening quarter, and a shocker going on here at Blacksburg, but not to Butch Davis and his staff. A lot of football left to play, but they are in front of the number 2 team in the nation by a count of 10-0. And Corey Moore and company know that they are in for a heavyweight tussle tonight.
Ron, on this route, what happens is Santana Moss clears out, and King will come on inside right behind him, and you can see the blocking, and there's nobody going to get to the quarterback, Kenny Kelly. He hits King, perfectly thrown touchdown pass, but you're right, no pressure. Nick Sorensen, he's got all day to throw this football, and he just waits for King to come open. Kenny Kelly talked about it in the open. He had to have a big ball game. He's off to a good start.
And that's one of the things that Frank Beamer said yesterday. He said, Ron, he's hot and cold, but when he's hot, they are as good a football team as we have seen, and maybe as good a team as there is around.
Yeah, you could tell talking to the coaches at Virginia Tech yesterday, they knew the speed that Miami has in the wide receivers. They know, they respect Kelly. They said he's been a little hot and cold, but when he's hot, now he can deliver.
The question on this drive right here, and we'll find out a lot about number 7 for Virginia Tech, because following that 5-play, 49-yard touchdown drive, after Vic got treated the way he did on that last series, does he speed up things a little bit? As this kick goes 5 yards deep in the end zone, do you have to calm him down even more?
I think you do again.
Well, coming up tomorrow, Week 10 of ESPN Sunday Night Football. At 8:15 Eastern, the Denver Broncos head to Seattle. Then on ABC's Monday Night Football, Curtis Martin leads the Jets against Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots in an AFC East battle. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive home for prime-time NFL football. Stiff, the tailback. He gets the football, tries to bounce it outside, and will be pushed out of bounds on the near sideline. You could see Campbell in pursuit, but it was Myers who came from the corner to finally shove him out of bounds after a gain of 5.
And Frank Beamer again is there. He wants the penalty called on hitting out of bounds. Stiff, he's got to have a good ball game around. And Miami's done what you want to do when you come into a place like this, Virginia Tech. They have quieted the crowd here early in this ball game.
Quieted them and stunned them.
There's what Frank Beamer wanted. He wanted the 15-yard penalty for a late hit.
See the safety coming up. Pressure again on Vic, and he is going to be tackled as he crosses the line of scrimmage. It's Dan Morgan, and I talked about in the starting lineup the heart and soul of this Miami defense. These 3 linebackers all will come after you pell-mell.
Got a lot of speed. Dan Morgan's missed a lot of time in games because of hamstring injuries and other injuries. He's got a cast on his index finger tonight, that he's just a tough linebacker that makes a lot of plays for the Hurricanes.
3rd down and 5. 1 of 3 on the 3rd down conversion for the Hokies tonight. Vick, beautifully thrown and beautifully caught by Parham. And that time the freshman showed you that when he has time and squares his shoulders, boy, he throws wonderfully.
And Ron, Virginia Tech's been good on 3rd downs. They lead the Big East. Terrell Parham was open. Leonard Myers made a play for the ball. Michael Vick delivers right on the money. Here's the route. Here's the break. Now Myers is going to make a play. Misses the tackle. Parham loses his balance.
1st down, Virginia Tech at their own 45. Stitt. Good heavens. Tries to hurdle. Gets turned to flip in midair. And you can see 96 Wilson. Also Webster is there.
They can't block number 92, though. That's where it all starts. They've got to double him. Damian Lewis. They can't get any movement on Damian Lewis right now. That's why there's nothing in the inside in the running game.
And against this Miami defense, the way they're playing, 2nd and long is the wrong position to be in. Safety creeping up, short drop, and they get it out in the flat and incomplete. Contact on the play as Rump came up and made the hit.
Mike Rump had the pass play thrown against him at Penn State, but after the game he said, I either can stick my head in the sand or learn from it, and he has been an outstanding corner all year. Here he is against Andre Davis. And I believe he arrived there a little too soon, but no call.
3rd down. They need to take it to the Miami 45-yard line. Here comes the blitz. Right up the middle. Vick is being sacked, and the ball is loose. But they say that he is down, or they call it incomplete pass. That was Popovich. Was caught by the ankle and then also hit high.
Yeah, Ron, they've got Michael Vick confused a little bit. They come with some linebackers here. They get pressure up inside. You can see how they're getting to the quarterback. Number 20, late Edward Reed in on the play.
Line drive kick. This one is returnable. Moss from the 23 and is hit out of bounds at the 30. Adrian Carson, let's go to the sideline and hear from you.
Something I just heard from Andre Davis, who came out of the huddle 2 plays earlier in their rotation receivers run. Quote, Mike's getting rattled. He's getting rattled in the huddle. This goes to Coach Beamer and the men who are standing around him. Mike, you just said it perfectly. They're getting to him, and I think that's led to some confusion in the huddle, and obviously that leads to confusion with his receivers.
He's getting beat. Adrian, what's happening is their offensive line's getting ripped up inside. You can see the pressure there. It's very difficult to throw when you got all those people in your face.
Portis puts it on the ground, picked up by Charlton. Kelly has to make the tackle. Now here come flags from all over the place on the other side of the field, and Kelly has injured himself making the tackle.
And Ron, I think that's going to be on Miami, so you may add some more yards to this because of frustration, but that's their 2nd turnover. Clinton Portis, the freshman from Gainesville, Florida. Yeah, you're going to tack on a few yards here with this play. And most important is right there, Kenny Kelly's down. Can't turn the football over against any ball club, but you can't turn it over against this team because they play so reckless on defense. There's the knock the ball out. I believe it was David Pugh, number 71, backup defensive tackle.
If I had to guess, I would say Kelly knocked that shoulder
Dead ball, personal foul against the defense. The penalty is assessed half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Yeah, his shoulder, look how you right shoulder.
Kelly is up and walking off under his own power. But it did not look like he had any contact to the head. But if it's his right shoulder, he's done for the night.
It looks like he's okay, Ron. Like his neck or 2 turnovers for Miami. Now Virginia Tech, and again the young freshman Michael Vick. Got to get some help from his offensive
Ken Dorsey, a freshman out of Orinda, California.
Watched him practice Wednesday. He throws the ball very well, but this is not a game for a freshman.
The option. Kendrick. Out of bounds at the 1. No signal given, and they're going to say he was out of bounds just before he got to the pylon as Morgan made the tackle.
Ron, that's the way you run a speed option. You get the ball out. Michael Vick knew he had to kick it out, and then Cullen Hawkins, number 42. Watch this play. You tell him to get on a rail. Now watch his block, and Kendricks is going to foul that block and get right to the pylon. Edward Reed again with a nice hit. A nice block by Hawkins.
First and goal, Virginia Tech. Trying to get back in this one. They're down 10-0. Stopped at the 1. Campbell is down at the bottom of the stack as Stith unable to get it into the end zone. And Kelly on the sideline. Looks as though, Mike, they're sending him to the locker room.
Well, he got a bad spot there. I thought that ball was down to the 1-yard line. You're right, Kelly's going in.
Well, that is not good news for Coach Davis and his staff. Stith, nothing.
Here, Ron. Chiron Stith's only 5'8", 209. The pros like him. Redshirt junior, some of the pro scouts who were in here, they weren't looking at him on film because he's only a junior, but they talked about how hard he runs the ball up inside for his size. You can see him. Watch this push and watch him just go airborne. Well, what a good hit from Miami.
Campbell.
Morgan, Webster, Campbell, the linebacker.
Burrow. So it is 3rd down. You could see how close they are inside the 1-yard line. Here's the option. Not going to have it. I mean, Sweeney is the guy who reached across and drug him down. Do you kick it or do you go?
Ron, I'd go for this, and I'll tell you why.
Now here comes a late flag, Mike.
I'll tell you why I'd go for it, depending on this penalty, because they got to bring in Dorsey. So I wouldn't mind giving him the ball on the 1-yard line if I don't score the touchdown.
But if this is against Miami, obviously, it would be a 1st down. If it is against Virginia Tech, and you can see the signal right there that Keith Short.
Dead ball, personal foul, gets the defense. Penalty is half the distance of the goal, automatic first and goal.
Ron, on this play, put an asterisk by that penalty, but quarterback sneak or get the ball to the fullback. Do not take the ball off the line here too deep. You're on the inch line. You ought to be able to quarterback sneak it in here. Or get the fullback, Hawkins or Ferguson.
1st and goal. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. And now they are going after it. Here comes another flag. Another flag.
Ball, personal foul, offense, personal foul, defense, the offset, play to try.
I think these officials now will look for the next personal foul. Somebody's going to get ejected out of this football game. Stith gets in the end zone. Badly needed touchdown by Virginia Tech to stay in this ball game.
tries to make it a three-point game. Got the winner against West Virginia last week. He knocks it home, and with 17 seconds remaining in this opening quarter, our new score, Miami 10 and Virginia Tech 7.
Turnovers will kill you.
Well, what happens here that as you look at the scoring drive, 5 plays, 12 yards, a minute 52, what kills you? Not only the second turnover, but you lose your starting quarterback.
And then you get the penalty down there on it, which would have been a 4th and 1 yard line. 4th and 1 on the 1 yard line.
Adrian Karsten, let's check with you. What do you have?
Sophomore quarterback Kenny Kelly for Miami is now in the locker room. I give you more than I have right now, Ron, but the door is locked. Here's the situation. Severely bruised right shoulder. They tried to take a look at both of his hands, find out if he could make any grip. Of course, he could with his left, but not with his right hand. You both know that is his throwing hand. No x-rays from what I am told. No possibility of dislocation, although he's in the locker room right now. I'll have more as soon as I find out.
Okay, Adrian. Well, Kelly, you could see that he bore the full brunt of the blow on his shoulder, that right throwing shoulder. So Dorsey is going to get a look in this ball game. What do we got here? 4 of 12, 44 yards.
1 touchdown.
1 touchdown.
And, Ron, what's going to happen now? Bud Foster is going to start creeping around there with 8 and 9 guys now and try to pressure Dorsey and stop the running game.
From the 2, Moses. NCAA basketball continues Tuesday with preseason NIT, 8:30 Eastern Time. Notre Dame takes on Scooney Penn and the Ohio State Buckeyes, and it's followed by K-State and Arizona. Then on Wednesday on ESPN, Penn against Kentucky Wildcats, 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
Ron, you can see how that turnover,
he's back.
Yeah, just brought this crowd back in the ball game and gave life to the defensive football team of Virginia Tech.
Bubba Franks moves out of his stance.
And they feed off of the turnovers. They feed off them on defense.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And here comes Kelly back in the ball game. So that grimace has turned into a situation where he's back out and says, I want to play. But you can bet that Virginia Tech will be crowding the line of scrimmage thinking he's not going to do anything but run the ball for a while anyway. Portis, 8 tough yards. That'll be the last play of the first quarter as Charlton knocks him out of bounds. That's the end of the opening quarter with our score, Miami 10 and Virginia Tech 7. Back with more from Blacksburg, Virginia, after we pause for this.
With an 83-year truck heritage behind us, we decided to try something a little different. Introducing the 215 horsepower Rally Sport inspired Isuzu V-Cross. Theoretically, still a truck.
Let's see some D, D, D.
Log on to dsports.com, the ultimate online sporting goods store. dsports.com. C's with D.
I will not forget that I have long-term responsibilities.
I won't let panic triumph over reason. I'll stay the course when everyone else says the sky is falling.
The stock market moves up and down, sometimes dramatically. In my 30-year career, the stock market's gone up over 10-fold. But in that same time period, it's had 14 drops of 10% or more. Stay the course. That's what I've always done.
For more information on Fidelity funds with a history of solid performance, visit Fidelity.com.
At BASF, we don't make the sunscreen, we make it stronger. We don't make the tennis shoes, we make them grip better. We don't make the jacket, we make it brighter. We don't make the carpet, we make it tougher. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
United employees are doing what they can to make air travel better. Rising is performance.
Stop. Welcome back to Blacksburg. Floyd Kelly, father of Kenny Kelly, very concerned viewer of this game tonight, and rightfully so, as his son went out with the shoulder injury and has insisted that he come back in. Adrian's going to the sideline to check and see what miracle thing they did for him. 2nd and 7, draw play, and Portis out to the 28. It's going to be a 3rd down, and they'll have about 3 yards as Taylor is hanging on to him.
Well, Ron, watching Kenny Kelly come out of the huddle, he's always working his arm, so he's trying to get it loose. Now, Bud Foster and Frank Beamer and the defensive staff have to try to figure out whether they're going to crowd the line of scrimmage, come after him, and whether he can throw or not. That's the question you got to ask on defense.
That's Corey Moore, who just came limping out of this ball game for Virginia Tech.
They got Corey Moore and Engelberger out. Both their leaders on defense.
Wise out over the football. 3rd down, short drop, and he zings this pass. Santana Moss will have the 1st down as he is pushed out of bounds just shy of the 40 by Whitaker. But it's good for 10 yards. And let's check in with Adrian Karstad. Adrian?
All right, Ron, the claim by Scott McConigal, the head trainer for the Miami Hurricanes, is there was no medication of any kind administered, either orally or by injection, to Kenny Kelly. It was just a doctor's examination inside the locker room. They brought him back up.
Okay, well, that's one of those things, I guess, where you get a bit of a stinger, and it's not quite as bad after some time has passed by.
And he threw the ball well in the last play.
As they look over, Moore on the sideline. Corey limped off on the last play. Draw play. Portis.
Got a defense right now that's wounded for Virginia Tech. Both their leaders, John Engelberger, a redshirt senior, came here as a walk-on. He's a vocal leader. And then Corey Moore, the All-American on the other side, he's on the sideline. So you got backups at their spot in a defense that's a little bit wounded right now.
You're right. When you talk about the 2 guys that this defense feeds off of as the spiritual and physical leaders, it's those 2 guys, Engelberger and Moore. Portis, see the blocker in front. Mercier with a very nice block, and Portis falls down. Mercier showing how versatile he is, and the pro scouts like his ability, and you could see why on that play.
Ron, he started the 3rd game as a true freshman. He's been an outstanding player for Miami for a long time. Seems like he's been there 7 years. John Engelberger and Corey Moore is a contribution that they lose when they're not on the field. How about 57 sacks, career sacks, tackles for losses?
3rd down and very short. When he slipped and went down, he missed it by a half a yard, and they go with the quarterback sneak. Beasley will make the stop, but that will move the chains for Miami. Adrian, and let's get an update from you on this side of the field on the two defensive ends.
Corey Moore just back onto the field now, Ron. If you look closely at his right knee, you'll see in a sleeve, a very tight sleeve that fits around a right knee that has a mild sprain that he has suffered to that. Update on Engelberger, number 96. He has had a hard plastic brace, almost a small cast applied to his left ankle. That was on there for about 3 minutes. He didn't like the way it felt. He took it off, but there's no way he can play without it, I'm told by the medical staff.
Okay, Adrian, great job going from side to side. Here's the reverse, and it's Moss. And he spins down at the 44-yard line, and that was a very nice job by number 2 Whitaker, because he refused to be blocked. If he gets blocked on the play, Mike, he might have been down the sideline for 6.
Well, Ron, first mistake by Virginia Tech is Ben Taylor's in good shape right here. You're sitting right down here. You're deepest at deepest. You don't let anybody outside you. He does let Santana Moss outside. Now you're right. If Whitaker doesn't make that play, it's a big gainer.
See the backers creeping up. They go with the running play to Portis again. And Portis bumped out of bounds after a short gain. They're not going to have the first down. And Mike, after the fumble by Portis, he seems to be more tentative and really protecting that football.
He is protecting it. Again, a freshman football player out of Gainesville that everybody recruited as a defensive back. Miami said they'd give him a chance to be a running back. Rushed for 100. First freshman to rush for 3 100-yard gains.
I think Butch Davis wanted to redshirt him until Davenport went down in that first game, and then also the injury to Jackson. Portis has got 45 yards and 11 attempts tonight. Pressure on Kelly, and there's Moore. First time that they have gotten to Kelly tonight.
Ron, lost yardage plays. That brings this crowd right into the ball game. Corey Moore again, sacks, lost yardage plays. He stays. He does not get faked out by Kelly rolling out on a naked play.
Capshaw to punt. They have told us they might alternate the punters tonight. Let's see if Virginia Tech tries to come after him. Wobbly spiral, and here's a flag, and it's going to be roughing the kicker on Virginia Tech. Ricky Hall on the return. Let's see if it's running into or roughing.
Yeah, it's 14 yards to go for a first down.
This is something that man absolutely has his doctorate in, and that's special teams play. Frank Beamer.
Ron, the way you practice it, that's what he's saying, 5 yards. But the way you practice that is you look at the tape, you see the opposing punter, you see where he gets rid of the ball. If it's 8.5, 9 yards.
Run into the kicker. Defense. The 5-yard penalty has been declined. First and 10.
I don't blame Butch Davis. I wouldn't want to go against that special team block unit again either.
And Ron, what you do is you put a towel down where the kicker usually kicks, and you work all week at going to that point. So Frank Beamer's not going to be happy with the player that ran into the punter.
So there's a timeout. 11:44 remaining until halftime, and we got a good one brewing here in Blacksburg. Miami 10-7.
Sports Century Book, a great holiday gift in bookstores now.
If you want more choices with more taste, we're your buds. Where else but Sonic can you get an extra long coney? Fun has never tasted so good. You get that extra kick of chili on top, all that melted cheddar cheese. We'll even toss in those tots you love to pop. That's one very tasty meal at one very tasty price.
Sonic America's, Sonic America's, try it.
This month, don't miss our new apple pie shake. It's thick, creamy, and tastes so much like homemade apple pie. It even has bits of pie crust mixed in.
There are moments in our lives we treasure. Moments unlike any other. Incredible moments when it seems anything we want could be ours. Not this moment. These moments. Visa Magic Moments. Every day in November and December, there are Visa Magic Moments. Those moments when your purchase is absolutely free. So keep using your Visa card because every moment counts. Some more than others. Visa Magic Moments, they're everywhere you want to be.
When we re-engineered the all-new 2000 LeSabre, we gave it more standard safety features for you and your family than any other car in its class. Plus, the best gas mileage in its class. Come in during Buick's Countdown to 2000 event and see why Buick LeSabre has been America's best-selling full-size sedan for 8 years running. The all-new 2000 LeSabre. Drive one at your Buick dealer now.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Isn't it time for a real car? And by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. Welcome back. We have missed a lot for you while we were in break because Butch Davis tried to get that call changed. The decision had been made by one of his players, and the officials started to make the change, and then they said, nope. Frank Beamer said, wait a minute, you can't make the change. The decision has been made. So they left it at the 31-yard line. Coach Davis is not real happy right now. Kendrick going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage, and Campbell. And how many times tonight, Webster, Campbell, Morgan, those three linebackers are just everywhere.
Ron, good linebackers. And I want to go back to that call again. Butch Davis wanted another chance to punt the football because didn't like the punt that he had. It was not a very far punt. Ends up on about the 30-yard line, so he felt like he wanted another chance at the punt, and they moved the ball, and then Frank Beamer yelled at him, and so they took it back to the 30-yard line, did not allow the next punt.
Second down and 15. Here comes the pressure on Vick. Runs away from the pressure at the 30. What a great move, and finally pushed out of bounds. Webster will drag him down at the 35-yard line.
You talk about speed. Leonard Myers, number 22, who's got good speed himself. As Michael Vick is not getting up, that he underestimated Michael Vick's speed, and he got outside of it. Been a lot of hits tonight right around that sideline. Number 22, Leonard Myers, is going to come up. Here he comes up now. He's got him eyed up now, and now he misjudges the speed, and he gets outside of him. There's the hit by Nate Webster, number 52. And you talk about the franchise now. There's the franchise, number 7, Michael Vick. Dave Myers, the backup, starting to work a little bit. Get some snaps on the sideline. Keith Short.
Well, as you can see, Vick appears to be okay. The numbers on Meyer, 23 of 40, 3 interceptions, 267 yards, 1 touchdown. And his longest pass play, 41 yards.
Now, Ron, usually I say bring a quarterback in and give him a chance, but this is the 3rd and 6 that you need to pick up. So he may come out throwing this football, throwing it or a draw. Try to take advantage of Miami's fast charging defensive linemen.
I would imagine if you had some kind of unit on Meyer's chest right now, I imagine his heart rate is rather rapid. Zings it over the middle, incomplete. Here come flags from everywhere.
Edward Reed, the free safety, is going to get called.
And he didn't even have to hit him.
No.
The ball was 3 yards over his head.
Interesting thing about Edward Reed, Ron, in the Big East meet, he set a new school record throwing the javelin. He didn't even warm up, never threw it. And just the first time he ever threw it, threw a new Miami record. Derek Carter was the tight end, 85. So a mistake by the secondary Miami.
Well, it was not quite as high over his head as I had thought in looking at that replay, as Vick is back in the ball game, and with the penalty, a first down to the 50-yard line.
And I like the confidence in Dave Meyer. You had to have that 3rd and 6. You needed to move those chains, so they took a shot and he delivered.
Kendrick, nothing. And again, one of the linebackers, 52 Webster, also Burrow. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you again.
Offensive coordinator Ricky Bussell had some instructions for Vic this week after the game up in Morgantown last week. As Vic goes to the sidelines, he loves to hug the sideline even when he's about 2 yards away from being out of bounds, but he was beginning to slow down. So Coach Bussell said, Mike, turn it upfield, hit the gas. That's when you need to do it, because one of two things is going to happen. Either we'll get 2 to 3 more yards, or we'll take the chance of getting the late hit. Well, he got the late hit on the other side, but you also risked the injury.
Well, actually, he was making the tackle in the field of play, Adrian, so it was not late. Kendrick plus yardage, but they still will not be back to the original sticks as Lewis and Webster combine on the stop.
Ron, I'll tell you who's been absent here in the second quarter, Chiron Stiff. We've seen a lot of Kendrick in this ball game.
Stiff just came back into the lineup, Mike.
All right, on cue. Virginia Tech not having a lot of success running the football.
Mike, they don't have 100 yards yet. They have 56 passing, 27 rushing for 83 total.
Ron, they got Andre Davis against Mike Rump.
Vic, all the time in the world, and whoa, he almost got it picked off as Johnson, the intended receiver, and Myers was the closest guy to it.
The pattern just didn't look good. Either side.
Jimmy Kibble, the senior out of Manassas, Virginia, back to punt.
Santana Moss can make you pay back there as a punt returner.
Good high coverage kick. Spiral's not going to turn over, but it's very high. And a fair catch is called for at the 15 by Moss. 36 yards on the kick, and we'll take a break with 9:20 remaining first half. Miami by 3.
3 persons murdered, taken by the headless horseman, taken back to hell.
This Friday,
there is no horseman. Never was a horseman. Never will be a horseman.
heads will roll. Sleepy Hollow, rated R. This Friday.
When we re-engineered the all-new 2000 LeSabre, we gave it more standard safety features for you and your family than any other car in its class. Plus, the best gas mileage in its class. Come in during Buick's Countdown to 2000 event and see why Buick LeSabre has been America's best-selling full-size sedan for 8 years running. The all-new 2000 LeSabre. Drive one at your Buick dealer now.
I'm Buzz,
and I'm Shirley Buzzolini.
And that's Shirley.
We're people. We switched the autos to State Farm because I was tired of punching numbers. We dial a 1-800 number, hit an asterisk, hit a pound sign, and never did know who we were talking to.
They don't have to hit a pound sign to talk to me.
When I need to call my agent at State Farm, he knows who I am, and I know who he is.
I can talk to Gary like a friend.
I even insure their golf carts.
Like a
good neighbor, State Farm is there.
How to speak Australian. Designated driver. Beer. Foster's, Australian for beer.
The Mississippi State defense going up against the diversified Arkansas offense. Who will be standing last?
Mississippi State, Arkansas at 9. Next Saturday on ESPN2.
Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten. Good to have you back with us tonight. Blacksburg, Virginia. 10-7. Miami trying to upset the number 2 team in the nation. This is the worst field position for Miami to start from tonight on the 15th. Kelly. I don't believe it. He's going to take it all the way out to the 30-yard line. Austin will make the stop after a scramble up 16 yards.
Well, they had a shot at him, Ron, and credit Kenny Kelly for getting out of that mess.
More, I thought, had him.
Yeah, they could have been back on the 3-yard line, second and long. Instead, he makes a first down out of this. Kenny Kelly back, and you see the pressure.
See, Moore had him right there.
And then now he just makes some good moves to get down to about the 31-yard line. So that was an individual play by Kenny Kelly with great field position coming out of that play.
Portis, nothing there. Nice defensive work by Jamal Smith, one of the linebackers.
Ron, these officials got to jump on this game right now.
And let's check on the sideline with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
And Mike, to that end, the referee, John Smith, has warned both benches. One more personal foul, someone will be ejected. They just don't want to let this game get out of hand. Secondly, John Salmon, the line judge, has really, well, actually, put it this way, Butch Davis has really had his ear, and Smith, the referee, told Salmon, the line judge, Davis, has anything more to say or talk about, you send me over. I don't want you distracted anymore.
Second down and 11. Kelly going long, got his man, it's overthrown, and it looked as though on the play that Midget may have re-pulled that groin muscle as he is down on one knee at the 25-yard line. And boy, that could be huge if they cannot have his services.
Yeah, they can't lose him, Ron. And on this play, Ron, watch this. First of all, it's a one-receiver route up at the top. Pull back out. That's the respect you have for the blitzing defense of Virginia Tech. And Anthony Midget did look like he pulled up lane. He's going to come out of the ball game.
Going to come out. Larry Austin, number 24.
He's back in, Ron. Midget's back in at the corner spot.
Okay. Larry Austin is over on the near sideline. And a timeout has been taken, so we'll take it with him. 7:55 left until halftime.
Dodge Ram is built with the belief that if power is good for the New South, Magnum Power is better. And that if saving is good, saving a lot is better. And now you can lease a Ram Quad Cab 1500 V8 4x2 for $289 a month. Magnum Power. Magnum Savings. That should get your motor running. Dodge Ram. Different.
These days, it seems that you can buy jewelry just about anywhere. The difference between an okay piece of jewelry and an exceptional piece is the workmanship, design, and quality of materials. At Massey's, we carry beautiful jewelry from the finest designers and manufacturers around the world. At Massey's, you are guaranteed excellent craftsmanship and the highest quality materials without having to pay extra. Don't just own a piece of jewelry, own a masterpiece from Massey's Fine Jewelry.
If I had one of those TV rating boxes on my television, the #1 show in the country would be 11 p.m. Sports Center. I never miss it. In my opinion, it's the best thing going. Okay, maybe it won't hit _1, but it'll definitely give Dharma and Greg a run for their money.
A very underrated defense. Daryl Gardner forces an incompletion, knocks Bledsoe to the ground.
Face it, America. Situation comedy, it's a dead genre.
Michael Vick on the sideline. It has been a very difficult first half for him. 4 of 10, 56 yards. Third down Miami. Line to make is out at the 41. Kelly from the shotgun. They leave a man unattended. Gets the pass and it's intercepted. He threw it directly to Midget.
Ron, they brought Corey Moore off the corner, Corey Bird off the corner, number 16. He missed Kenny Kelly. He spun around, and Kenny Kelly lost the vision down the field, threw the ball right to Anthony Midget. Third turnover. Watch number 16 coming from the outside. Corey Bird, unblocked, spins him around. Now, I think he loses his receiver, throws the ball. Anthony Midget sitting right in front of Andre King for the interception.
And you could see, Mike, how far King was behind Midget if he just lops it to him. Stiff. Hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll be knocked down for nothing. Blades out of the secondary. And also, number 94, Joseph, combining on the stop.
When I was down there Wednesday and watching Larry Coker and Butch Davis work with the offense, and they kept preaching, no turnovers. We had 5 turnovers last year. We've got to cut them. We can't have 5 turnovers. They had 3 in the first half. Still fortunate to have a 3-point lead.
No question about that. This defense has really done some job. Option play to Stiff. Has 5, has 10, and he's off. Stiff will score from 41.
backs or great blocks on that play.
Ferguson was one, I know that.
Ferguson, Andre Davis, the other.
Well, this is a personal foul against Virginia Tech as you look at the play. There's Ferguson's block.
Just a nice job running the option, kicking the ball outside of all the pressure inside. Andre Davis with a nice crackback block on Nate Webster, number 52. Stith in the end zone to take the lead. And now again, turnover, you make them pay. And again, the turnovers have really been costly to Miami.
Well, so you put an asterisk by that one as he turned it over, 15-yard penalty. Now, the official said the next personal foul person was gone.
Well,
home team's not missing anybody.
We'll have to have Adrian check that.
Extra point is good. Commercial coming with 7:08 left until halftime, and the 2-ranked Hokies on top.
Got him.
Yeah, if I could only see.
I've got the perfect thing.
The Bosch Micro Edge Excel has a revolutionary dual rubber wiping element.
Move to the left a little.
It's the best cleaning, longest lasting blade we've ever made. Bosch Micro Edge Excel, the most advanced wiper system ever.
Beautiful. But I think we lost the headlight.
Even with 70,000 fans, you can't miss old Sammy here.
Hey, after a game, I call all my buddies everywhere to see if they spotted me on TV.
That's why I told Sammy about 10-10-220.
Oh, yeah. Doug said when I dialed 10-10-220 first, all my calls up to 20 minutes are just 99 cents. And it's 9 cents a minute after that. He was right.
I wouldn't let a fan down.
No, not you, Big D. Now I get all my calls for under $1. I'm a fan of that.
Do your friends know about 10-10-220?
Hey, they will next game. Check it out.
Can't miss that.
10-10-220.
Finally, a polished brass finish that holds up under siege. Brilliance for the kitchen. From Delta, it's guaranteed to shine for life. Delta, the faucet.
Dream big. Win big. Enter to win the ultimate kitchen or bath makeover at www.deltafaucet.com/dreams.
Virginia Tech on top 14-10. Micah, take us through the touchdown.
Ron, this is set up perfectly, and you start the option. Michael Vick's going to come down the line. Now, watch this. This block by the wide receiver, he's going to belt the linebacker. That's number one. Then the fullback, Ferguson, he gets a good block. Then Slowakowski, number 87, just gets into the way of Edward Reed. So 3 nice blocks that you saw outside for the touchdown for Stith.
Kibble with the kickoff, and this one is returnable. Moser. Short of the 20-yard line. Outstanding special teams coverage by Virginia Tech. And I think it's Shane Beamer who made the stop, son of the head coach. Well, coming up on Tuesday night, Outside the Lines, the Native American Sports Experience. Bob Lee will examine the debate over Native American team names and mascots, teachings used by the NBA's Phil Jackson, plus other provocative issues surrounding this often overlooked topic. That's Outside the Lines, 7:30 Eastern on Tuesday. Three turnovers, Miami. And the last one cost them the lead. Portis, blockers in front. 5-10, still behind Mercier. Fumbles the ball again. It is loose in the field of play, and it was out of bounds, and they will hold on to it as Ike Charlton knocked it away, and that is twice that Portis has fumbled in this first half.
Yeah, Ike Charlton just stripped him from behind. Portis didn't see him and coughed up the ball. Lucky for Portis, the ball went out of bounds. You'll see Ike Charlton, number 3, just strip him right here, and the ball just kicked out of bounds. Good gain for Miami. Ron, since Kenny Kelly's injury, he has not been the same. Through the interception, got the one play for a scramble, and I believe he's only completed one pass since he took that hit.
Yeah. Portis, they give it right back to him. Nothing in the middle of that line. It's Corey Moore. Well, Mike, in last year's meeting, turnovers certainly contributed to the ultimate undoing to the Hurricanes. 4 fumbles, 5 giveaways, all total, including 4 straight possessions to start the second half. All of that, and it still took an overtime for the Hokies to take out Miami.
Ron, we talked about lost yardage plays, and that was just one there on first down. You got to get more than that on first down against this defense.
Kelly, Bubba Franks over the middle, and something that Miami does not do that much, and that is throw to the big tight end downfield.
Well, he looks good catching the football. Bubba Franks. Pete Garcia, an assistant in Miami, went out to Midland, Texas to recruit David Leverton, the punter who ended up at Tennessee. And the coach, high school coach, told him, he said, there's a big guy over at Big Springs, Texas. You ought to drive over there and look at him. And Bubba Franks was that guy. Miami's very fortunate to get him there.
Well, he is a giant, and what a great athlete. Last 4 games, they have really utilized his talents. Kelly, deep over the middle, got a man overthrown, Santana Moss. And you could see immediately Midget going down on one knee as that groin is really, really giving him problems.
Ron, Corey Bird was in coverage, and then Midget over the top, so that's why he's now a safety. But look where he goes right away. He knows where Santana Moss is. So you got 2 guys. You got Bird playing him outside, who gets beat, and then you got Midget trying to come over the top to help him. Nick Sorensen replaces Midget at the free safety spot.
Backside pressure, hit and sacked by Corey Moore. Second time, both sacks by Moore.
Ron, you remember the last sack that he had was on a big 3rd down play. 3rd and 2, and he sacked him for about a 10-yard loss. And see, just what he's doing there brings the crowd into the ball game. He just beat number 79, Greg LaFleur, on the snap. So quick out of Brownsville, Tennessee. Not big, 6'2", 225, but very quick, explodes off the ball.
3rd down. Miami has to take it all the way to the 26-yard line. And a timeout taken by the Hurricanes, who will take it with them. 14-10, Hokies lead with just over 4.5 minutes remaining until intermission time. (14-10) our score. 4 minutes and 31 seconds left until halftime. Stith with that 41-yard run just a moment ago, and until then, Miami had held him, Mike, to under 100 yards total offense in the first half. But that has been the breaker, and now all of a sudden, this crowd is right back in it.
And without a doubt, Corey Moore has made 2 big plays on Kenny Kelly.
Right over the middle, and it's intercepted by Midget. 4 turnovers.
Ron, what happens in a ball game is you show the offense a blitz, and then the offense checks out to something, and you see it on tape, and you know where they're going to go with the ball. They tried to get the ball to Santana Moss. Now, right here, nobody's on him. Look, all of a sudden, all that room. Kenny Kelly's going to throw the football. What happens? Anthony Midget steps up inside, picks the interception. He knew he was going to go there with the football.
Vick almost picked off, knocked down by Webster.
Kenny Kelly just got baited into that play. Anthony Midget sitting right there. Georgia trying to come back on offense.
You know,
a long way to come back.
The conversation at halftime will have to be, we cannot waste a defensive effort like we have had tonight, because the defense has really, with the exception of the long play, has dominated Virginia Tech in this first half. Tipped, and a nice play by Blades, and if he doesn't tip it, I have a feeling that Carter is going to be running for a while.
Without a doubt. Ron, just go back to the 4 turnovers and then the 2 big plays by Corey Moore where he sacks Kenny Kelly. Though you talk about 6 big plays in this ball game, and you're still only down 14-10. So your defense, point you just made, your defense has kept you in this football game.
Well, you're holding the number 2 team in the nation to 125 total yards. One of the plays is 41, so it shows you how well the Hurricane defense has played tonight. Vick got him right over the middle. Carter, the tight end, and tackled inside the 40-yard line.
All of a sudden now, the offensive line has done a better job protecting Michael Vick, and I like the fact that they got him in the shotgun. He gets a little bit better view, and we haven't seen Damian Lewis come up inside. Matter of fact, Damian Lewis looks to me a little bit tired right now. They chased Michael Vick this entire first half, but they're not getting any pressure now.
Well, that was only a 3-man rush on that last play, I believe, Mike. This time they got 4 down linemen back in the ballgame.
There's no pressure.
Almost complete as Myers is on Davis, and Myers kind of went to sleep. Almost let him catch it for a touchdown.
And Ron, I like the way Michael Vick throws the deep ball. The game against Syracuse, we saw him, and the tape that we watched. Andre Davis, that ball was right on the money. You're exactly right. Myers kind of gave up a little bit, stopped a little short. See the protection again. He's got all day to throw the football. Puts the ball right on the outside, exactly where you want the football.
Burrow just went limping off the field. The senior out at North Miami Beach, the big right defensive end. Straight ahead with the running play, breaks the tackle stiff, and he's into the secondary again, inside the 20, and is going to be stopped at the 19-yard line as Morgan tripped him up.
Ron, he's the key in this offense. I believe Michael Vick is the All-American. They got Andre Davis out on outside, Ricky Hall with good speed, but Chiron Stiff makes this offense go because he runs up inside, he makes you anchor down inside, he breaks tackles, he's into the secondary. He is an outstanding back.
Here's the option, and the ball is pitched out and recovered by Miami. Michael Vick with a very, very rookie mistake. He is down and still tried to throw the ball out. Now here comes a late flag in. No signal has been made that it's Miami's football. There is the signal.
Yeah, it looked like Miami had the football.
Reed made the recovery.
It almost looked like Michael Vick was down when he pitched the ball out there.
And then a personal foul added on against Virginia Tech.
No, I think that he changed, Ron. It's going to go against Miami.
Okay.
But
direction means nothing.
Yeah, no, not right now. Spin around. Let's watch this play because this is an interesting play. Michael Vick with a big mistake.
Well, he's down.
Yeah, but that ball was kicked out. Take another look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's down. Hips is the man who was holding on. And then you see the recovery by Reed. The penalty stepped off.
The knee's down. Ball should have been blown dead, but not. Miami has the football.
Well, you remember he grounded when he was down on the very first series.
And they called that down.
Yeah, they called that one down. But he also was thrown 2 passes when he is wrapped up by people. Those are mistakes he's got to stop making.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Redshirt freshman, he's going to make some mistakes. Even though he's a great player, you got to get used to playing.
Portis bounces it outside into the secondary, and as you can see, all the way out to the 30-yard line before Whitaker tripped him up. And an indication of why Portis has got 3 games of 100-plus yards as a freshman.
Boy, they get everything sealed inside. Mondrell Fulcher, the fullback, number 18, made a good block on the outside to open up Clinton Portis. Miami's run the ball very well against this Virginia Tech defense.
Under 3 minutes to play until halftime. You had rushing yardage. 88 yards for Miami, 132 passing for a total of 220. He's going to have to hurry. Yep, just got it off. Right over the middle. Boy, that one in and out of the hands of King, and he knows he dropped a football he could have done a lot of damage with.
A lot of room to run.
Yes.
After he would have caught that football. First draft pick of the Atlanta Braves. He was the 66th player taken in the baseball draft. And that's what Miami's had to do, Ron, with the restrictions and scholarships. They've had to borrow from track, borrow from baseball to get their back to where the numbers are.
Pressure on Kelly. They do a good job of picking up more. Lobs that one, and he throws it short to Franks.
If you're Butch Davis, you're going to go into halftime and say, you know, we've had some things open on offense. Defense has played very well in this ball game. We're only down 4 points. Just got to keep from killing ourselves. And that's what they've done the first half. Penalties, turnovers, lost yardage plays, sacks.
Miami 2 of 6 on 3rd down conversions, and they need exactly 10 yards. Kelly is sacked. Taylor, the 3rd time that they have gotten to Kelly tonight. Now, the important thing about that right there, timeouts left. The Hokies have 2. The clock is running. And they stand to get extremely good field position out of this.
And, Ron, they're going to go after this punt. Freddie Capshaw has been a little inconsistent. I'm sure they're going to go after and try to get this block.
Off the side of his foot. Not a good kick. Inside the 40 and is taken at the 40-yard line. And let's check in with Brian Kenny.
Ron, coming up on the Buick Halftime Report, we'll go through all the top games. Arkansas beating the Vols in the top 25. 4 of the top 8 in the coaches poll losing today. And Chris Fowler with Lee and Kirk are also in Blacksburg back there with you. Rod Gilmore will join me at the half. We'll see you then.
Okay, Brian, 1:49. The time we have left on our clock here with 2 timeouts for the Hokies. And again, Miami is going with that 3-man rush. And they bring a linebacker on Vick, throws the ball complete at the 46-yard line and tackled immediately. As they go into their 2-minute drill, it was Parham who made the catch. And it will be no huddle for the Hokies. 1:30 and counting. over the middle, caught at the 38-yard line. Ricky Hall, and is being wrestled down there.
Again, not much of a pass rush on Michael Vick. He's got a lot of time back here to find a receiver, and he's waiting on Ricky Hall to get right behind the linebackers.
17 yards in the pass play. Clock 1:10, now 1:9. Drills this one out of the hands of the intended receiver, Parham, and it was tipped, I believe, a little bit by Popovich.
Yeah, Jeff Popovich got his hands on that football. Good defensive play. Miami's going to take a timeout, Ron.
That's their last timeout.
Here's number 33, Popovich, getting his hand on the football.
So Miami calls the timeout. As you can see, Webster came over and really put the wood on the receiver after the ball was dropped. Well, coming up next Saturday on ESPN Game Day at 11 Eastern from Gainesville, Florida. Then it's Purdue in a battle with Indiana. And at 7:30, the Iron Bowl, 13th ranked Alabama taking on Auburn. Over on ESPN2, one of these two Big East matchups featuring either Virginia Tech or Miami. At 6 o'clock, 16th ranked Georgia visits number 18 Ole Miss, followed by Mississippi State looking to rebound against Arkansas. ESPN, your home for Bowl Week.
I heard today on ESPN radio where there's a sign in Tuscaloosa today that said 53 weeks till Auburn comes to Alabama. So they're not only worried about next game, but they're worried about when Auburn's going to come back to Alabama. That should be a good ball game next week.
Jarrett Payton on the sideline and, of course, is dressed. We do expect to see him on special teams tonight, and he's wearing number 34 in honor of his dad. His number has been number 32, but in honor of his dad, who passed away week before last, they have given him that number to wear for the remainder of the year. Ball is fumbled, scramble for it back at the 41-yard line.
Low snap from Keith Short. Right around the ankles, and Michael Vick's going to get a timeout here.
Virginia Tech, as we mentioned, with 2 timeouts, so they use one of those, and he'll come over and visit with his staff with 49 ticks left until intermission. The big difference in this football game is in the first quarter. Vick spent his entire life just running for his life, and he got his head knocked off several times. But Mike, he has handled himself again extremely well. And after the one time when he got knocked down so hard by Wilson, I wasn't sure if he was going to return to the football game.
No, he had a low snap on that play, Ron. I think overall he's played well in this first half.
That's what I mean. I mean, he has rebounded from what has been very difficult.
Yeah, he's done a good job on the option. He got the ball down the line of scrimmage and kicked it out. He's thrown the ball to Ricky Hall over the middle behind the linebacker. So I think he's done a good job. On the other side, I think Kenny Kelly has done a good job getting in the right play, just the mistakes and the turnovers. Fumbling the football and throwing the interceptions. He's taken his ball club to a 14-10 deficit here.
When you look at the effort, as I said, and everybody, sometimes the magic works, sometimes it doesn't. But when you look at the fact that Miami has 4 turnovers in this half, and they're only down 4 points.
And Kenny Kelly, Ron, is only a sophomore, so he's young like Michael Vick, too.
They fake the run, the quick out screen, and falling down is Johnson.
Now Frank Beamer may let that clock run with 37 seconds left because they didn't pick up enough.
Shane Graham's longest field goal is 52 yards. Clock running down to 26, now at 25.
Unless he runs it down as far as he can to take a long field goal shot, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to take Michael Vick and just take one offensive play. Michael Vick walking with the official, making a timeout call.
So the Hokies use that final timeout. There are 9 ticks left on the clock. As you watch Shane Graham on the sideline, 11-14 this year, his longest 52. Actually, his career long is 53, but his longest this year 62 of 85 in his career.
3 decisions right here. Do you take the long field goal opportunity? Do you try it, or do you give Michael Vick one chance to throw the ball in the end zone, figuring the clock will run out or there'll only be 2 seconds left? Or do you punt the football? I think your best shot is take Michael Vick and throw the ball downtown.
Well, last week against West Virginia, this was the play by Michael Vick that put the Hokies in position to save their undefeated season. Vick turned it upfield on the far sideline for 26 yards, just enough to get within field goal range, and Shane Graham came out to hit a 44-yarder, and that was it, 22-20. They defeat West Virginia.
Ron, I think they're going to try for the field goal here with Shane Graham.
A 59-yard attempt. Gets a good pass, not going to have the distance. That's going to hit about 8 yards deep in the end zone, 4 seconds showing on the clock.
And Frank Beamer thought he'd had a little more kindness out of the timekeeper to get a couple more seconds off there. So Miami's got one play here with 4 seconds. You practice, Ron, your field goal practices on Wednesday and Thursday. You move the kicker back as far as you possibly can. You tell them there's 5-6 seconds to go in the half, or 5-6 seconds to go in the game. Let him try one, and that's exactly what Frank did here. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Kelly to one knee, and we are headed to halftime in what has been a real slugfest in the first 30 minutes of play. Our score at halftime, the Hokies 14 and Miami 10. Now with the Buick halftime report, here's Brian Kenny and Rodney Gilmore.
Ron, thank you very much. It is
halftime, and it goes without saying, hard to have 4 turnovers in one half and beat anybody. But the situation is the Miami Hurricanes are down by only 4 points at halftime after committing 4 turnovers in the first half.
Ron, they've done a lot of good things. They're running the ball well. Portis is running the ball well. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. Franks has made a couple big catches. They have to find a way to get the ball to Santana Moss. But the keys to beating Virginia Tech's defense is simple. You can't turn the football over. You big play them. That's number one. You got to get big plays over 20 yards. They've gotten 3. Make yards on first down. Well, they haven't done very well on that, although they're averaging 9.6 yards. 3 of those plays have been big pass plays on first down. Minimize lost yardage plays, because that's where the crowd gets in the ball game. The defense gets in the ball game. 6 for minus 20 yards, 24 yards. No turnovers. You got to play airless when you play these guys. 4 turnovers. You see, can't do that against this defense. Right off the bat, Portis, the running back, gets the football and gets the ball knocked out. Fumble. Ike Charlton recovers. Then Kenny Kelly can't handle the snap. Charlton recovers. Then he gets turned around and he throws the ball to Anthony Midget. Then he gets baited into an interception by the Virginia Tech defense. Midget again on the interception. But they've done some good things, and I'm sure Butch Davis is very confident coming out in the second half.
Jimmy Kibble to kick it off. Looking into the eyes of Santana Moss. He is back along with Moses. 4 yards deep, he'll take a knee. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you down on the sideline.
Well, Ron, you and Mike are absolutely right, as if you were in the locker room, because Davis and the Hurricanes do come out with some confidence here in the second half, because they're confident they can get Santana Moss more involved in the second half. They're going to use Clinton Portis to set him up. He likes to pick his holes as he goes outside. Because Anthony Midget has aggravated that groin pull, they figure if they can get Moss one-on-one with Midget, then Moss's speed can beat him. Watch him on a checkoff on a quick slant pattern. Kelly, whose arm is strong enough to throw the long balls, looking for Moss underneath the cover.
Play action, and they pick on Midget immediately. That's thrown to Santana Moss. I guess the other thing, Adrian, I know that you have moved away, but I know you're listening to me. The other thing, as we look at the stats, I'd love to know what Kelly's situation is. Is he limited? Can he throw the long ball in the second half?
He claims that he can. I actually spoke with his father on the sidelines and got the best information out of him. The doctor re-examined it. They have taped his shoulder underneath his shoulder pad, so it's a little bit stiff, and they taped it right to his skin, but that's what he wanted, Ron. He feels more confident with it taped tightly like that.
Okay, you see his numbers, 8 of 15 in the first half. Bouncing to the outside is Portis, and the young freshman is going to have the first down plus about 6 yards. Sorensen in the secondary on the tackle.
Ron, they've done some nice things. I've said this all along. Miami's got a nice game plan. Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator. The one thing early in the ball game they did, they threw a screen, and very successful against this defense. They got to be able to screen Corey Moore because they got to help the offensive tackle slow him down a little bit.
Portis is now 93 yards on 16 carries. Counterplay. There's Mercier out front blocking, and he'll be stopped just across the 40-yard line by Ike Charlton. And I'll tell you, that's fun to watch when you see an offensive lineman that is as accomplished as Mercier, and he just kind of glides along. He is a fine-looking interior lineman.
All-American lineman. He does a nice job pulling out. You see him come outside. He now looks for who he's going to block. Blocks contain, blocks the linebacker, Jamal Smith, and gets a good gain on that play.
In fact, this is the way also that you get after Virginia Tech's defense, playing second and short rather than second and long. They keep the ball on the ground, turns it up. He's going to have the first down, but he came into the knee of Bubba Franks. And Bubba got up and headed back to the huddle, and it may be Portis, who was worse after the collision there.
Ron, we've seen Daniel Franks, Bubba Franks, make some good pass receptions, but watch him here block. You know, he gets on the linebacker right here. Comes off the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up the linebacker, seal him inside, and that's why Portis has so much area to run in.
That also was Fulcher.
Fulcher with a good block to fullback.
The nice block to lead him. Pressure from the outside, and the pass thrown behind Fulcher. They were just trying to delay him, and Kelly took a pretty good shot. As you can see, they sent two people on the right side, and the blocker couldn't make up his mind which one to pick up.
Ron, you got to screen him. You got to screen or draw this rush a little bit to slow him down. They're just relentless coming after the quarterback. We're going to see Dorsey again. Kenny Kelly has taken a lot of hits in this ball game. Bringing the outside backer. Get him around the ankle on this play. Forget about him. He's just a sophomore also. Well, he rolled up on his ankle. Left ankle. Jamal Smith, linebacker. They brought him on a blitz. No, they keep pounding this right side over here, and that's where Engelberger would be. And he's been out since early in this ball game.
Dorsey, we saw him briefly in the first half. He played for one play, and then Kelly came back in.
We didn't really even play a play because they had a penalty on that play,
right.
and he came off the sideline. Kenny Kelly came right back in the game. Miami team, Ron, is vastly improved since we saw him last year. Edgerrin James had a big ball game against UCLA when we did that game down in Miami. They get better and better. The recruiting's better. Got some quality players on this team.
You see the pained expression on his head coach's face, and it's not that he doesn't have confidence in Dorsey, but you're number one for a reason. And the second time tonight that Kelly has been helped off the field. We didn't think he'd come back the first time.
And Ron, here's what he's been hit with. 3 sacks for 27 yards. They've hit him 6 times, and they've been hard hits those 6 times. Virginia Tech's going to come after Dorsey now. They're going to figure it's going to be a run, and they're going to load up on the line of scrimmage here.
And he throws it. That's McCartland, and he'll come across midfield. It'll be a gain of about 3 yards in the play.
Good, safe call. Try to get the ball out of the backfield. Jamal Smith with, again, another tackle. Big third down play here from Miami.
Kelly headed to the locker room for the second time tonight.
Third downs, 2 out of 7.
2 out of 7, and they've missed their last 4. The line to make the 41 of Virginia Tech. Santana Moss had the position that he wanted and needed, and the pass just off the mark. Midget was trying to cover, but he was there.
And, Ron, when you have a young quarterback against this defense, the way you keep them from getting to the quarterback is one receiver route. Now, they're going to keep everybody in except a fullback's going to filter out here in the flat, and then you got Santana Moss, so they're going to make sure they block Virginia Tech and throw the one receiver route, but they're not able to get the ball downfield.
Crossland punted this time, the left footer, and he kicks this one all the way into the end zone. And they said that they might alternate the punters tonight, Crossland and Capshaw, because Capshaw sometimes was a little bit slow. 49 yards on that punt. So let's take a break. Hokies continue to lead by 4.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Now at 6 p.m. only on ESPN.
Oh, it looks so beautiful. Oh, honey, what's the matter? Mommy, I can't sleep.
You're just excited about tomorrow, Dan.
Back into bed, Tiger.
Come to Lowe's for a great selection of trees and trimmings. At prices so low, you won't know when to stop decorating. Lowe's. Great gifts, great prices.
I like to think of myself as an innovator who started a company, Dell Computer, around an idea that everybody should be doing business directly with one another, one-to-one, with no barriers. To me, that's the power of the internet. We'd like to show you how to empower your business in ways you've never imagined. I'm Michael Dell, and it's our reason for being.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Hello? Server? Got it.
Total participation, and this means everyone, all working to make sure you get the absolute best experience possible.
Mr. Thurber, you're all set.
Introducing 5-Star, a new approach to selling and servicing cars and trucks. It's better. We'll prove it. Only where you see these signs.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars, and by Dell Computer, pioneering direct internet ideas for your business. Be direct. Dell. Michael Vick, 8 of 18 for 95 yards. And let's see how he starts off this third quarter.
Ron, the biggest change I saw, first quarter, the front four really got after Michael Vick. Second quarter, no pressure at all out of the front four.
Gonna go long. Got a man there, and just too far as Davis, who did not have a catch in the first half. Boy, they were looking for a home run on that, and if he has accuracy, they've got 6 points to open their offensive possession here in the second half.
Yeah, Andre Davis has great speed. He got behind the corner, and then Edward Reed tried to come over the top to help out. Michael Vick again with a lot of time. Wide open, just couldn't hit him.
Rump got turned around. It is second down and 10, 14 to 10 if you just joined us. 12:47 remaining, third quarter. Here's Stitt, runs into the arms of Morgan. And the linebacker, who was very active in the first half with 7 tackles, just picked up his 8th. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Well, behind me, behind closed doors, is Kenny Kelly, the starting quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes, in there for the second time tonight round. Not the shoulder this time, but a twisted left ankle. Aggravation of an injury that goes back 3 weeks to the last offensive drive against Boston College when he claimed on a dirty play his ankle was twisted at the bottom of the pile. He came in tonight with a brace on his left ankle in the locker room now, actually going through x-rays, I'm told.
Okay, Adrian, great job of hustling there, buddy. Pressure on Vick, runs out of trouble, and now here he goes. 25, 30, 35, at the 40, and Vick is going to be tackled from behind at the 40 by Edward Reed. "45 yards, and Campbell really pressuring the quarterback, and now Vick is down. And you can see Campbell also injured and down at the 30-yard line.
Ron, what happened on that play was a blitz out of Miami. Man coverage in the secondary, so they were running with the receivers. They didn't get to Michael Vick. There was a little crack in the blitz. He pops out. Now watch this. Comes the linebackers outside, linebacker inside. Now you got to get to the quarterback. He finds a little crack. Now there's no secondary players there because they're all in man coverage. Edward Reed just makes a shoestring tackle to stop the touchdown. Nice job by Andre Davis, the wide receiver outside, occupying the corner rump. And Michael Vick showing you the speed. And they're going to have a lot of fun around here for the next 3 years watching this young man play.
95 yards passing, 56 yards rushing for Vick already tonight. Dave Meyer, a junior out of Ramsey, New Jersey, comes into the lineup.
Both quarterbacks have been belted here in this ball game. Good hard-hitting football game. I think you'll see Chiron Stith get the football here.
Miami creeps that safety up, looking for the run. Stith gets the handoff, and he bounces it out of there, down close to the 30-yard line as Blades will make the tackle.
He's really the engine that makes this football team go. Chiron Stith runs so hard inside, and again the crowd into this ball game with Michael Vick coming back in.
You see the blitz. Straight ahead, nothing for Ferguson as he is being shoved back. Webster, number 52, the first man to make contact. And they will say it's a loss of a yard as they push him back just beyond the 30-yard line. And now it is third down, and they need to take it just inside the 26.
Not a big play they had in the same position in the second quarter was the option play, but then they came back and ran an option play, and he fumbled the pitch. Let's see if they come back to the option.
Almost missed the handoff, and Stiff running extremely tough. Webster makes the tackle on him. That was quite a collision, and he wound up with a pickup of 2.
Well, Michael Vick checked that play off, and I think he checked the wrong play because I saw him shake his head out there that he may have made a mistake getting out of the play he was in to the play that he gave Chiron Stith the football on.
This is going to be a 45-yard attempt by Shane Graham. High pass, and he yanked this one left. No good. So the Miami coaching staff applauding and jumping up and down on the far sideline because that is a victory for them. 9:46 left in the third quarter. Hokies continue to lead by 4.
The thing
thing about sailboat racing, everybody gets the same wind, the same waves, the same everything. Yet somebody loses and somebody wins.
Robert Braglia, AXA Advisors.
It's the same with your financial life. It's often hard to pick the right way to go.
AXA Advisors, part of a global company helping 40 million people.
My job is to look at the big picture, help you make choices. Just like sailing. The right moves can put you way ahead.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
Chrysler Concorde. With the power of a multi-valve V6 and the agility of a four-wheel independent suspension.
I didn't know Davis could move like that.
I told him to think of himself as something powerful and agile.
Wonder what he was thinking.
Rams and Falcons are not friends, but this is a must-see prime-time battle of backyard rivals.
Air Force, Colorado State at 8, Thursday on ESPN. So as we stood at halftime, we played 5 minutes and 14 seconds of this third quarter. Stalemate. Opportunity for Virginia Tech, and they miss on the 45-yard field goal attempt. Portis tripped up, and I mean literally tripped up by Jamal Smith. He leg whipped him.
They're going to make Ken Dorsey prove he can throw the football. They're going to crowd the line of scrimmage now, stop the run, and force Ken Dorsey to throw the football.
Second down and long. This is the situation that Miami didn't have much of in the first half. But this is how you get beat against Virginia Tech. Playing second and long and becoming predictable. Corey Moore causing that pass to go awry, and now it's third down and long.
Ron, this is where if you're Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, you're thinking turnover all the way on Ken Dorsey. You pressure him or you double cover Santana Moss here. Here's Corey Moore making the play, getting off the block of Fulcher. But the quarterback really allows this to happen because he's just too slow getting rid of the ball.
2 of 8 on third down conversions. They now have missed their last 5. If you look at Kelly running out of the locker room. Zings the pass and thrown too hard and behind Bubba Franks, and Bubba kicks it on down the field in disgust.
Yeah, they're frustrated right now. Bubba Franks was open. Ken Dorsey couldn't get him the football.
Crossland will boot again. He had a 49-yard kick just a moment ago. He's a left footer. Good high driving spiral. Hall from the 23. Dangerfield on the special teams. That's a 52-yard punt and 12 on the return. But coming up on Thursday on ESPN, the Air Force Falcons descend upon Fort Collins to take on Colorado State. Last time the Rams appeared on ESPN, speedster Dallas Davis returned 2 punts for touchdowns in their win over Utah. Coverage begins 7:30 Eastern with Thursday game night right here on ESPN. Your home for Bowl Week. Hawkins breaks it inside the 40 and finally pushed out of bounds. They're going to say at the 47-yard line.
You have to be impressed with the wide receivers at Virginia Tech because they do a nice job of blocking downfield. When Hawkins or Stith or Ferguson or Kendrick get in the secondary, they can count on Andre Davis and Ricky Hall and the receivers blocking downfield. They do a nice job.
Gain of 18 yards. played it outside as the pressure came. He could feel it from the inside, and he is down at the 41. Adrian, what do you have for us, buddy?
We should see Ken Kelly in the next offensive series for Miami. X-rays negative, simply retaped, but he still plays with that brace on. Very uncomfortable. He came out, stomped his left foot on the ground, trying to get the feeling for it, Ron. Really laced up that shoe tightly, so he's looking for as much stability as he can, but he's still playing with pain, not only in his ankle, but also in his throwing shoulder as well.
Yeah, Adrian, we could see on a monitor that he just threw a warm-up pass, and it looked as though he was in pain when he threw the pass. The pitch. Kendrick is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage by Webster and knocked down for a loss, and it appears that Kendrick is now shaken up.
Nice job by Miami on that option play because they took it away from the start. Matt Sweeney, number 98, broke through, forced the pitch, and then Nate Webster made the tackle.
I'll tell you, far and away, this is not only the most physical game we've had this year. This is one of the most physical games we've had in a time, Mike.
It's been a lot of hard hitting, a lot of players getting hurt in this football game.
Beck going to be hit, loses the football, picks it up again, and throws it complete to win.
Hey, you can't draw that play up. Michael Vick dropping the football shows you his athletic ability. Gets pushed out by the linebackers. Webster and Morgan picks the ball up, has enough speed to get outside, and then find Browning wins for the first down. Big play. When it bounces right, it bounces right.
At the 31, Stitt, and he gets punished by Webster.
This might be the best set of linebackers we've seen all year. Morgan, Webster, and Campbell.
Like I said, when I did the lineups, they bring a hat after you in a hurry.
Tough linebackers. 13 tackles for Nate Webster.
$14 to 10. You can see the clock about to go under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. And Vick is going to go down behind the line of scrimmage. Joseph all over him.
Well, they put it into the option play. The last two times, the Miami defensive line, Sweeney the play before, William Joseph on that play, they just stop it right from the start. This Miami defense has played lights out tonight.
Now a timeout being taken by Virginia Tech, and we'll take it with them. 5:42 remaining, third quarter. Hokies continue to lead by 4.
For over 20 years, you've enjoyed the mouth-watering taste and top-quality service of Western Sizzlin'. Our meats are the freshest, cut right here on the premises and cooked to order. We serve you potatoes so big they're a meal by themselves, and you'll find the freshest salad bar anywhere. Plus, enjoy our dessert bar free with any entree. Western Sizzlin' also has a large banquet room available for all your needs. Western Sizzlin', Martha Berry Boulevard. Call-in orders are welcome.
Paris, Milan, New York, the pinnacle of fashion. We all love those runway looks. That's cute. Presenting R2R. Marie Claire magazine covers the trends, and now they're introducing a fall fashion line to fit your everyday on the Home Shopping Network. Key pieces to mix and match. Runway styling at affordable prices. The Home Shopping Network premieres R2R October 17th at 9 p.m.
To Super Bowl 34, $1,000 from Visa towards ESPN stuff and free UPS shipping. Enter the ESPN Sunday Night Football Sweepstakes.
I'll send everyone I know an ESPN chip clip.
Tune in to Sunday's matchup between the Broncos and the Seahawks to find out the halftime score. Then call or log on for your chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl.
I haven't won anything since that spelling bee in the 4th grade. I spelled Isthmus.
It's the ESPN Sunday Night Football Sweepstakes presented by UPS, the official express delivery sponsor of the NFL and Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
So welcome back. 14-10. The Hokies on top in a situation of 3rd down. 13, and they need to take it to the Miami 21-yard line. Here's the shovel pass. Stiff, breaks the tackle, running hard, and he is inside the 25-yard line. Popovich on the stop.
Can't get outside on the option. The shovel draw, go inside. Stith picks up good yardage to set up another Shane Graham field goal attempt.
This is going to be an attempt of 42 yards. You see his misses tonight, 59 and 45. He got this one. Shane Graham, 42 yards. So the scoring ice in this second half is broken by Virginia Tech, and they take it out to a 7-point margin, 17-10. Well, take a look, Mike, at the top 10. This is the ESPN USA Today Coaches Poll. Look at the L's on there in the top 10. What is it about November?
Wondering myself. I think what happens, I think, in a lot of situations is pressure that builds up on ball clubs. A surprising win by Arkansas over Tennessee. Nebraska whips Kansas State.
No surprise there.
Alabama with a win. Michigan comes back, beats Penn State. So, you know, we have one of the computer guys in this stadium tonight. I'm sure Adrian's going to talk to him of how he's going to rank teams on Sunday. Get the new computer rankings out. Ken Massey, we talked to him last time we were in here.
That's right. You've become a close personal friend of his.
Well, Adrian has.
Okay. I misunderstood.
He's gone to his room. He sees his Virginia Tech wastebasket.
Here's Kibble's kickoff. This is a 9 yards deep in the end zone. Santana Moss will go down to one knee. And Kelly will come back out, this time wearing even more adhesive tape. And you can see the limp, which is very obvious. But what they need right now is his experience and his knowledge.
In the huddle, presence. They're one play away from the ball to Santana Moss or the ball to Bubba Franks or Reggie Wayne. They're one play away from getting back in this football game.
Straight up the middle, Fulcher. 5 has 10. Check it. It is Portis, number 28, rather than 18. And that gain of 13 will give him a total yardage on the night. He was already over 100 yards.
That's his 4th 100-yard game as a true freshman in Miami.
But he lost one fumble tonight. It cost him a touchdown. Close to the 40-yard line as Corey Moore will make the tackle on him.
Short of the 40-yard line.
Mercier again, Ron, pulling around that corner, gets another nice block. And see, Miami, what they can do is they can run the ball against Virginia Tech. Engelberger's out of there, and they're picking on this right side of the line over here. Mercier, they're pulling him to the right side, getting an extra blocker in. But they need some mix. They need some play-action mix in here.
There is John Engelberger, a spectator since early in the first quarter. Portis did not have the first down. Beasley on the tackle, and Adrian, let's check with you again.
So early in the first quarter run, it was early in the very first defensive series, and when he came out, he only went in for 2 other plays that I have seen. One on one punt coverage, and he had limped down the field, and then one on a PAT attempted block, and he couldn't even move then. There was a time, truth be known, Ron, for the next series or two, when this defense wondered how well they could play without him. When you consider Midget playing hurt with that bad groin and what Corey Moore has done tonight, someone had to replace the other half of the quiet Lion, and Tech has done so.
Well, that's right. Third down. You hear the crowd getting into this one. The blocker fell down, and Portis on a second effort. Let's see if he got it. Nope, not going to have the first down.
He didn't make it, Ron, and good play by the secondary. Corey Bird came up, made a hit. Ike Charlton again.
His fullback fell down in front of him, which slows him.
What a gutsy performance by Midget, number 9. Adrian's talking about he's playing hurt out there, playing on special teams. He's playing corner safety. What a great effort by that young man tonight.
Crossland to punt again. They're coming after him. And a kick off the side of his foot. Bounces now a Virginia Tech bounce, and that thing is going to wind up being about a 4-yard punt.
That's the threat of blocking a punt, what that does for you. Sometimes you don't need to block a punt. Just your rush will cause the shank. And that was the worry of Butch Davis when I was down there Wednesday. He talked about his punters not being real consistent. Sometimes they'll hit a 50-yarder. Sometimes it'll go off the side of their foot, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
Well, Mike, what you have to do, you have to mark that down. They have 4 turnovers. That's the same as having another turnover.
Ron, I'd go for a bomb right here. We're going to keep this inside.
Stiff being corralled by Morgan and then being shoved back.
This is a chance in the ball game to really put a stake in Miami right here at Virginia Tech. You get a 4-yard punt. Now the pressure's on the defense here. Now here's where I think you got to really go after the juggler. Try to make a big play here by Virginia Tech. Big, long pass play.
Safety's creeping up. Got a man wide open. It was in a blown coverage, and it is first and goal as Johnson got out with nobody around him.
And I think Leonard Myers may have bit on the out pattern, and that's exactly what I was referring to. You need to throw the ball down the field. Emmett Johnson is working against Myers now. He stops right here on the curl route, but he keeps going. Myers settles a little bit, and then he's open. Then Edward Reed has to come over and make the touchdown-saving tackle.
Hit behind the line of scrimmage, and that is an outstanding open field tackle by Reed as he brought the big guy down about the only way you can, and that's hitting him around the ankle.
The biggest difference in this third quarter has been field position. Virginia Tech's had great field position. Miami's not been able to get the ball out past the 50-yard line. Bad punt. You say throw that up as a turnover because that's a 4-yard play, and you give them the ball on the 40-yard line. So that hurts this Miami football team.
Second down, here comes the option. They don't make Vic commit, but they string him out, and he will go out of bounds. The official put him down at the 12. Mack was pursuing him.
Way the Virginia Tech defense is playing right here, you want to make sure Michael Vick has an open receiver here if he's going to throw the football, because you want to come away with 3 exactly here. Midget, you know,
trying to stay
Can't
warm.
tell you how much he's meant to this football team tonight, playing hurt. Quarterback draw, possibly.
Third down and goal. Here comes the blitz. Pressure on Vic. Almost intercepted, then almost caught for a touchdown as Myers got a hand on it.
Yeah, that's what you don't want if you're Frank Beamer, because you want to make sure you get 3 here. to go up by 2 scores.
That looks like Leonard Myers, who is down. I'll tell you what, folks, it's been a long time since I remember a ball game where we've had this many timeouts to observe injured players, and it took a while to get them up, and many of whom have not returned in the ball game, and if they have, for only a limited time or limited action.
Michael Vick, I'm sure what they wanted him to do here, if you didn't have a clear-cut opening receiver, throw the ball away or run the football. Tries to get the ball in here on the move, tipped up in the air, almost intercepted, almost caught.
See right there, he almost got the pick off and it almost knocked it away into Parham's hands.
Parham was the intended receiver. Good defensive back play by Myers, and then gets hurt on the end of the play.
Seconds remaining, third quarter. They continue to look at Leonard Myers, who was down, and now they're going to get him up. Meanwhile, the field goal team has come on. Residents in College Game Night follows our games at 11 Eastern Sports Center with Linda Cohn and Kenny May. The top stories: Ron Dane romps, round-by-round updates of the Holyfield and Lewis fight, and upsets galore in college football. That and more tonight at Sports Center. For 20 years, your source of sports news and highlights.
Shane Graham is on to attempt the field goal.
28 yards on the attempt by Shane Graham. Nails another one. With 24 seconds left in this third quarter, now the Hokies with a 10-point lead. They have scored 20 unanswered points as Miami had jumped on top 10-0. And with defense and turnovers and grinding offense, they have scored the 20 points after being down 10-0.
Ron, a lot of the people with the computers will look and compare Florida State's game with Miami earlier in the year, and then Virginia Tech's game with Miami. There's a lot of question about Virginia Tech's schedule. Miami, I think, is the best team they're going to play all year in the regular schedule.
Seconds left in this third quarter as you look at Kelly over on the far side.
They've been able to keep Santana Moss quiet tonight. The big play receiver and kickoff return guy has been a quiet performer. Have not been able to get him the football.
Moss to the near side, Aaron Moser to the far side. Tate Kibble has been a weapon tonight himself, kicking the ball into the end zone for Virginia Tech. Moss will return this one. Ran into his own man and then slips down at the 26-yard line. NCAA basketball continues on Tuesday with the preseason NIT, 8:30 Eastern. Notre Dame takes on Ohio State, followed by K-State and Arizona. Then on Wednesday on ESPN, Pennsylvania goes up against the Kentucky Wildcats at 9 Eastern. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Santana Moss hobbling over on the Miami sideline. to reverse it. And taken down after about a 9-yard gain.
Picked up 8 yards, 35-yard line, 6.
That is the end of the third quarter. And as we head to the final 15, it's the Hokies, the number 2 ranked team in the nation, 20, and Butch Davis's Miami Hurricanes, 10.
With Transamerica Investments and Insurance Products, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be financially successful. The people in the pyramid working for you.
On the road to number 1.
Sugar Bowl! And nothing's gonna stop us! Look out!
Now what? There's an easier way to the national championship. Nokia's Road to Number 1 sweepstakes. Just buy any Nokia model phone in a specially marked box and you can win trips to the Nokia Sugar Bowl or thousands of other great prizes.
Looks like you finally found yourself a date for the game.
Nokia. Connecting people.
When I grow up, I want to file all day.
I want to claw my way up to middle management. Be replaced on a whim. I want to have a brown nose.
I want to be a yes man, yes woman.
Yes, sir. Coming, sir.
Anything for a raise, sir.
When I grow up,
I want to be underappreciated.
Be paid less for doing the same job.
I want to be forced into early retirement.
Check out the new Monster Talent Market, the first auction-style marketplace for freelancers.
We have murders in New York without benefit of fools and goblins.
You're a long way from New York.
This Friday, heads will roll. Sleepy Hollow. Rated R. This Friday.
How to speak Australian. Designated driver. Beer. Foster's. Australian for beer.
At Transamerica, we have insurance products and investments for retirement that'll help you plan for your next career. The people in the pyramid working for you.
So we're set for the final 15 minutes of play. Miami with a second down at about 1.5 yards for the first. Portis turns the corner, and he's going to have the first down. Fox making the stop.
Another good block by Bubba Franks, the tight end, number 88, running right behind him. Portis has had a good night, Ron. You look, 137 yards. Stith on the other side. He's given the punch inside that they've needed with a touchdown run, 2 touchdowns. Averaging 4.8 yards per carry. Both those running backs have run hard tonight.
Kelly, fade route. I'm not sure either the defensive back or Wayne even saw the ball, did they?
He threw it too early, and Reggie Wayne was working up the football field, and the ball was thrown way behind him. Whitaker, redshirt freshman on the coverage, number 2. When they moved Midget to free safety, they put Roniel Whitaker in, the redshirt freshman. He's got his hands full tonight, but did a pretty good job with Reggie Wayne. Got to get the ball to Moss.
This time it's Fox. 4 times that they have gotten to Kelly tonight.
When they get you in a predictable situation when you got to throw the football, 2nd and 10, they do so many things on defense. Crowd the line of scrimmage with linebackers. Michael Hawks, 43, comes through unblocked. Kenny Kelly never had a chance. Now the thing they can also do to you, Ron, is not blitz and double up the 2 wide receivers, because those outside backers are rush guys, but they can also play like strong safeties.
Timeout called by Miami. You could see Kelly limping to the line of scrimmage. We'll talk more about it in just a moment. We'll take the timeout with him. Hokies by 10.
College Game Day, Saturdays at 11 on ESPN.
We know advanced technology doesn't have to be complicated. That every product must be meaningful. And the end result will make you smile. Open up to Samsung Digital and keep in touch. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
Mom, Dad, if I'm paying rent, I gotta have a better breakfast than this.
Mark.
I know there's some dietary restrictions at the table, but no way.
What would you like, Mark?
Potatoes, sausage, eggs.
Would you like me to serve that to you in a nice warm skillet?
That would be great.
What does this look like? A Holiday Inn?
Want a better breakfast? Try our award-winning Best for Breakfast menu and today's Holiday Inn.
Gravity, the force that holds the Earth in orbit around the sun, also holds the car to the road around a hairpin turn. But in extreme conditions, even gravity can use help. The reassuring performance of the RL with Vehicle Stability Assist from Acura.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Acura. Cars are our passion. Engineering is our art. And by today's Holiday Inn Hotels and Resorts. Part of this overflow crowd, and you see Kelly is on the sideline. It means that Dorsey is back out for this 3rd down and long situation. Mike, is it such... Would you be better off to run the football here rather than try to throw?
I think you just try to air it out. Let Dorsey throw it as far as he can. Hope Moss can get under it. It's too late in the ball game, Ron. You need some plays here. If you throw the ball deep, Daniel Franks, Bubba Franks moved tight end.
Adrian, let's check with you again.
If you're an offensive lineman for the Miami Hurricanes and you jump offside this week in practice, what you would have had to do in 85-degree heat is take your football shoes off, go over to a 40-yard-long sand pit, and run in knee-deep sand. That would have been your punishment. That's why this is the first motion penalty we've seen by the Hurricanes tonight. That was held over their head. You move, you go to the sand pit.
All-out blitz, pass, well out of bounds and away from Reggie Wayne.
That's what they did, Ron, but he threw the wrong receiver. Santana Moss was frustrated on the top of the screen because he wanted that football.
I'm almost a little surprised Crossland is going to punt again rather than Capshaw. His first couple were very good. His last one, they're saying officially 3 yards.
They got a return on here.
Paul breaks a couple of tackles. At the 10, 5, touchdown. 62 yards. officially is what they are saying.
Ron, they had a good setup there. Crossland shanked the punt before, so they came back with a return. Everybody maybe thought that they were going to go after the punt. They set the return up. Hall hit the side. A couple missed tackles, and it was home free.
Extra point by Graham is good, and with 13:39 remaining in our ball game, all of a sudden the Hokies have blown this one wide open. 27-10 as they lead the Miami Hurricanes. Let's take a break. When we return, the number 2 Hokies trying to show America that they belong in New Orleans.
What's up with that? I'll tell you what's up with that. At the Auto Supercenter, we have 30-plus used cars at or below $99.99. It's hard not to get excited about Heritage Nissan's Auto Supercenter's new, nothing over $99.99 lot.
Talking about cheap, we have them as low as $29.99.
Hey, and the best part is we have no hassle prices on all of our vehicles. Remember, at the Auto Supercenter and the $99.99 lot, we're smashing high prices. Has anybody seen the Fat Man?
For over 20 years, you've enjoyed the mouth-watering taste and top-quality service of Western Sizzlin'. Our meats are the freshest, cut right here on the premises, and cooked to order. We serve you potatoes so big they're a meal by themselves, and you'll find the freshest salad bar anywhere. Plus, enjoy our dessert bar free with any entree. Western Sizzlin' also has a large banquet room available for all your needs. Western Sizzlin', Martha Berry Boulevard. Call-in orders are welcome.
Mississippi State defense going up against the diversified Arkansas offense. Who will be standing last?
Mississippi State, Arkansas at 9. Next Saturday on ESPN2.
Can we experience exhilaration more completely when we feel secure? The 225 horsepower TL with front and side airbags and 5-speed sequential sport shift from Acura.
To 10 with 13:39 left in the ball game, and the crowd really getting into it now here in Blacksburg. Whitney Hall, the senior out of Chester, Virginia. Number 13, Santana Moss. Moss gets in the open field, and he is going to return that kick out to the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. So he gets a 31-yard jaunt.
Now what Virginia Tech and Bud Foster will try to do is coax Ken Dorsey into a turnover. They'll show him a lot of different fronts, a lot of secondary coverage, move before the snap of the ball and try to bait him into a turnover.
Portis fumbles again. It is picked up by Charlton. And Charlton down the sideline will take it the distance for the touchdown. Portis with his 3rd fumble of the night. 51 yards in this return.
Ron, Corey Moore, the All-American, stripped of football from Clinton Portis, and another turnover goes against Miami for a touchdown. Flag in the end zone, I believe.
Excessive celebration is what it'll be.
Is that Ike Charlton's 3rd fumble recovery, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Been a lot of conferences today, tonight in this ball game between both coaching staffs and the officials. Here's the play. Portis breaking into the secondary, and there's the All-American Corey Moore stripping the football. It's twice that they've been able to knock the football out of Portis's hands from behind. Third time.
Third time. He lost 2 of them. The other one, you remember, was knocked out of bounds right here in front of the Virginia Tech bench. Excessive celebration. The penalty moves this extra point attempt back. That's the reason you're seeing that, and it is blocked. So let's take a break. 13-15 remaining. Hokies 33 and Miami 10.
Ranger Rex here to help keep you prepared for any shopping situation. Shopping can get pretty extreme, so always wear proper gear. Have the right equipment and protect yourselves from the elements. And to be totally prepared, remember to carry a shopper's best friend, your Visa card. Because at REI, the country's most exciting adventure store, you can hike, bike, climb, and kayak. You just can't use American Express.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave, sir.
Visa, get everywhere you want to be. In the name of progress, man has given up more and more control to the machines of his own creation. Perhaps it is time to take some of it back. The thoroughly exhilarating TL with 5-speed sequential sport shift from Acura.
The most dominant player on the ice finds a moment to take over. When Jaromir Jagr comes into Buffalo, that moment could last the whole game. Sabres Penguins, Tuesday at 8, only on ESPN. This is the game.
I'm Kenny Mayne. Real soon on SportsCenter, some upsets. Take away rubber stamps from the poll voters. Ron blows by Ricky, and the not-so-easy Riders back in Portland. Join me and Linda Cohn, SportsCenter, 11 Eastern.
So the celebration, it's actually been going on since last night. But right now, with 13-15 left in the ball game, it has started in earnest as the Hokies now leading 33-10 following that pickup of the fumble and return. And Kibble kicks that one out of bounds. Actually, this is one of the few things that Virginia Tech has had go wrong in the second half. It has been flawless for the most part.
Ron, you see the takeaways right here, and it turns into 20 points by Virginia Tech. And Miami preached in Wednesday's practice, we cannot turn the football over.
You know what, though, Mike? Actually, the number, you should compute the 3-yard kick, make it 6, and make it 27 points, because they scored off that one as well.
Short punt.
Counter play, and Pugh is all over Porter.
Ron, you got to take your hat off to Pugh, Chris Cyrus, and Monroe, because they played when John Engelberger was out. They rotated all 3 of those guys in at times, and Chad Beasley. So the backup defensive lineman really filled the shoes of John Engelberger. Blood in the water for this defense now.
Quick pass, intercepted. Midget baited him right into it. Played off of Santana Moss, and he just stepped in front.
It's like sharks going to the blood in the water. Santana Moss, they're trying to throw the hitch out there. Anthony Midget, I believe that's his 3rd interception, right? He's had a great football game, played hurt, had the groin injury, not sure whether he was going to play, ties a school record, steps back, he reads the quarterback, he breaks on the football. If he could keep his feet, it's another 7.
Kendrick comes in at tailback, number 4. They lose the ball, and Vic falls on it.
The other thing that becomes important now, Ron, for Virginia Tech, who had Tennessee leapfrog them last week, they're going to put as many points on the board as they possibly can. night for him.
Clock runs under 12 minutes left in our ball game. Vick is going to be sacked. First time that they've gotten to him in the second half, I believe, and Nate Webster, who has truly been outstanding tonight, will get the tackle.
And Ron, they've had to give up linebackers in the second half. Started after the first quarter because Miami's defensive line, after the first quarter, didn't get any pressure on Michael Vick, so they had to start giving up linebackers to try to get to him. Nate Webster does get to him on that last play. Six turnovers in this ball game for Miami.
Hawkins will take it to the 24-yard line. Popovich with the stop on him.
And they'll just keep trying to put points on the board. No, I don't think there's any doubt they're going to be second in this BCS poll, right?
No, that
without any doubt.
Have to be, yeah. Field goal attempt, 42 yards by Graham. He just nailed another one. So we'll take a timeout. 10:27 remaining. It's the Hokies 36-10.
Yeah, great. Our next caller is Sarah, whose boyfriend has lost interest ever since he won the new Donkey Kong 64 from Dr. Pepper.
Let's see what we're dealing with.
Donkey Kong 64 is here, and you can win it along with a Nintendo 64 game system by looking under the cap of specially marked bottles of Dr. Pepper, or enter to win other prizes.
Sarah, I have a question for you. Are you a supermodel?
No.
Then here's the deal. He's not coming back. The game is awesome. Next caller.
I think I'm in love with a monkey.
Exciting episode of...
Welcome to the age of Vega. Sony Vega, part of the Sony Home Entertainment universe.
You are so beautiful. To me, you are so beautiful.
You see, Virginia Tech has tallied in every quarter, but 16 here in the fourth. In fact, they've scored 16 points in 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Moser. Moser still on his feet and is tackled as he crosses the 35. It's T. Butler on the special teams who makes the stop. Coming up on Wednesday at 9 Eastern on ESPN Classic Sports, known to many as the Chicken Soup Game, the 1979 Cotton Bowl featured one of the all-time great comebacks by a young Joe Montana. Notre Dame rallied from a 22-point deficit against the Houston Cougars. And to order ESPN Classic, dial 1-800-CLASSIC or call your local cable provider. Bubba Franks.
Ron, I believe Virginia Tech has punched their tickets tonight to go to New Orleans. They got Boston College here, and they've got to go to Temple, but I think they're in great shape now for this championship run. And they spell sugar. They're ordering their tickets tonight.
McPartland He will take it inside the 40, close to the first down. As Bird from the secondary comes up to put the stop on him.
And that man right there at the beginning of the year, Elias Corso, picked. Look at him. 63 years old. Look at him running down that sideline.
You know why he's running?
They're probably telling him he needs to be on the air. But
no, someone just told him he had to pick up the check.
Oh, that's right.
Exiting the stadium.
So he picked Florida State to meet Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl, and he's on cue. He's running out.
Moore with the hit on Dorsey. Pass incomplete.
Corey Moore's had a big ball game tonight. Did a lot of talking at the beginning of the week. Talked about Miami. He said they don't have any respect for us. We beat them 4 times, and they never give us the due that we're accorded. And gave some talk about Tennessee leapfrogging Virginia Tech, but he backed it up tonight in this ball game.
5 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Ball is loose. Recovered by Miami. You know, actually, they've got him down with 1 sack.
Yeah,
I thought he had 2 sacks. He had the first 2 in the quarterback.
No, he's had 2 sacks.
He's had 2 sacks. I know he has. I was right here watching it.
And give him a little time, he might get another one. Gutsy effort by Kelly, the quarterback from Miami, trying to go tonight.
Screen pass almost intercepted as it went through several sets of hands, and it was Cyrus and Bird with the pressure.
And when they draw a bead on you, Virginia Tech's defense, it's almost like you can't do anything right. They're so quick. They got great quickness, great athletic ability, good in the secondary, got down rushers. Very good linebacker play out of Jamal Smith, Michael Hawks, Ben Taylor.
Dorsey on 4th down. Santana Moss, and he gets drilled by Midget.
He's my player of the game right there, Anthony Midget. I know he's yours too. Playing with an injury tonight. Chris Cyrus with good pressure on Ken Dorsey, but the Anthony Midget, number 9, with the hit on Santana Moss. Corey Moore is just kind of just taunting the sideline of Miami there for a while. The official had to get him to come over the sideline.
Kendrick at tailback has to reach back for the pitch. He gets taken down hard. So the BCS today, and it's very obvious that this thing is going to change. Virginia Tech will move up to that number 2 spot.
They'll go out. They'll go out. So Nebraska, Florida, Virginia Tech, Florida State.
Well, I'll tell you, Florida State next week.
A lot of states.
It goes without saying, it is huge.
Florida State looked good against Maryland today. So that's the kind of game they needed to go into that Florida game.
You know, Mike, they still have not hit. They still haven't played that really good game, which is scary.
They're playing well on defense.
Kendrick breaks it open. Webster causes him to lose the ball. It is kicked into the end zone and recovered by Virginia Tech. And now the question, the ball being kicked forward, should it be dead at the spot of the kick? No touchdown. But I don't think they're going to call that.
They put the points on the board. Now, I don't see any officials conferring here. Yep, touchdown. And they've already wasted the fireworks. So you can't take the points down now. Kendrick busts through, makes a good cut into the secondary, and then gets stripped by Nate Webster. He didn't give up. Nate Webster, and the ball's kicked by Andre Davis. Recovered his own kick. Well, we've seen 2 games here this year and over 100 points scored by Virginia Tech.
So we'll take a timeout, 7:45 remaining, and it's the Hokies 43-10.
Winter driving can be a bit unsettling. So right now at Sears, you'll find all Goodyear tires on sale. That's a relief. All Goodyear tires on sale. Sears, the good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Yeah, it's just like this guidance, you know, you just guide them into appreciating just the good things in life and the things that'll give them true happiness.
Chevron with Techron.
I'm a crier. I mean, just thinking about it makes me cry.
Until now, there has been a wall between you and the tools of serious trading. That wall is coming down. The information and technology professionals use to trade is now available to everyone. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
In the war against drugs, communication is a parent's most powerful weapon. Talk about alcohol and marijuana with your children.
Dads, talk to your kids.
(43-10) our score with 7:45 remaining. And number 34, Jarrett Payton. And you see him tapping his heart and pointing toward the sky. And Mike Godfrey, I think the most beautiful thing that could happen this season if that youngster were to be able to return this thing, but he's not going to get an opportunity, as it will be picked up and run out to around the 35-yard line. He has been a young man of extreme maturity.
And he's going to stay in the game, Ron, so he's going to get a chance to run the football.
His family wanted him to get back to Miami and get into football as quickly as possible to help what it could as far as putting his mind on something other than his father's death. Freshman from Arlington, Illinois. That pass complete to King.
Jarrett Payton just made a good block there to give Ken Dorsey a chance to throw that football. Virginia Tech keeping most of the starters in this football game.
Santana Moss. And he's bumped out of bounds at around the 47 by Whitaker.
You know, Rod Gilmore did a thing the other day on Philip Fulmer, knowing how to play this game, you know, score points. And that Virginia Tech may be learning something from that because, again, they're staying right here. They're not bringing substitutes in the ball game with a 43-10 score. They're going to try to shut them down and get some more points here for the BCS. That's the rules the coaches have to play by now. Run it up.
Moss in motion. Pressure from the outside. Cyrus putting the lick on Dorsey after he delivered the pass.
Take the risk, Ron. The one thing you do when you're hit 43-10, you're playing Corey Moore here at the end, Anthony Midget, Charlton, all the same players that play for you all the time. The one negative is you take a chance on getting somebody hurt here late in the game. But they're flying around, their feet aren't hitting the ground. here just on a sack. They're trying to unload it all tonight.
See, they want to carry those things back to the warehouse.
No, things are going to be shot no matter what. You got 6:45 to unload the whole bunch.
Crossland to punt, low snap, gets away his best kick of the night. This fire will turn over, and it's Hall at the 9. And this time he will be tackled immediately. Well, coming up next on ESPN Sports Center with Linda Cohn and Kenny Mayne. Then it's Residence Inn College Game Night. Brian Kenny, Rod Gilmore, John Mackovic with a full rundown of the day in college football, as well as Chris Kirk and Lee down here in Blacksburg.
Let's see what happens on offense for Virginia Tech. Do they keep most of the starters in on offense? Got the quarterback, Michael Vick, in the ball game. A lot of the starting linemen, but some backup backs.
Lee Suggs.
Now, Michael Vick, and I think that'd get him out of the ball game, Ron. This is, and now Myers going to come in. You need to get him out of the ball game. That's the risk you take.
Pass, 11 of 23, 151 yards, 14 carries for 46. Popovich to make the stop on Suggs.
Jeff Popovich has played a pretty good ball game. He's been on a lot of tackles.
Yeah, we've called his name a lot tonight.
I'll tell you, Ron, the other thing, nobody has left this stadium. They're enjoying this.
Capacity House, maybe oversold just a tad. I mentioned they have the good favor of the fire marshal here. These kind of opportunities don't come along that often for everybody. 53,130. Suggs again, stepping high, and he'll take it out across the 26 to the 27. Fitzgerald replacing Myers in that secondary. He's there to make the stop for Miami.
Frank Beamer has built this program in the last 7 seasons, 61 victories. And now he really is the team. When you start talking about the Big East, you talk about Virginia Tech. It was Miami. But this last 5 years of Virginia Tech has pulled rank. And now when you talk about the Big East, you talk about Virginia Tech.
Suggs stopped at the line of scrimmage this time. Popovich again.
Should say Miami and Syracuse.
Syracuse has got some major regrouping to do.
Congratulations to Terry Shea.
Yeah.
They won a ball game today. Backup place kicker hit the field goal in overtime for the victory. Team played hard too. Watching Rutgers, when you're 0 for the whole season, if your team stays together, it's a credit to the coaching staff.
Suggs with the carry, and he does not have enough for the first down. So the special teams moving on the sideline. First punt of the second half. That's what I thought.
Ron, the other point, North Carolina on Thursday night. Carl Torbush with a nice win. Quarterback that they had to move from defense. Gave him a nice plan, and they won a big ball game. So congratulations to that staff also.
This kind of a knuckleball did not come close to turning over. And let's check in with Adrian.
Ron, let me reintroduce you to our good friend Kenneth Massey, a PhD candidate here at Virginia Tech and one of the 8 authors of the computer rankings that go into the BCS. All right, Kenneth, you're on the spot now. Considering what happened today, what is your computer going to spit out come Monday morning? What's your top 5?
I think it's going to be Florida State, Virginia Tech, Nebraska, Florida, and then who knows who the fifth will be.
All right. We might know if the so-called 24-point line of demarcation is in effect. Have you heard about this? Because there are coaches in the top 5 who feel if you can beat a team by 24 or more points, you should rate higher. What do you say?
That's a rumor, and I don't know if it has any truth to it. I know my computer looked at wins and who you're playing much more than what the score of the game is.
All right, the elements you saw in this game here tonight. With Miami coming in, had they won this game, they would have had their position to control. No one else could touch them in the BCS. With what you've seen from Virginia Tech tonight, namely coming back, scoring 43 unanswered points, what is your projection now? Obviously, second, what do you see in the future as far as Virginia Tech is concerned?
Well, the tempo of the game is going to hurt their strength of schedule. I think the Boston College game right after Thanksgiving is going to be the true test for Virginia Tech to see if they go to the Sugar Bowl.
Good luck. Thank you very much for your time. We may see you on January 4th. All right, Ron.
Okay, to further explain, as Adrian mentioned, the young man has one of the
he has a computer.
One of the computer rankings. There are a total of 8. 7 of those are used. It's the old Russian judge theory where they throw out 1 each week. But interesting to hear his thoughts about it. And what he said as far as the first 4, I think that's pretty predictable, don't you?
Yeah. But can I say this? What in the world have we created?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Gosh.
Quick out pass from King, and he'll go out of bounds. Whitaker to make the play on him.
Computers. People putting information in machines.
Sports Center coming up immediately following this game. And 48 seconds left, and then the party for real begins here in Blacksburg. Well overthrown on that one. And now we've got some fisticuffs. Well, I should say, wait a minute. Pushing and shoving. I shouldn't say fisticuffs. The players are separated. 4th down and 10 for the Hurricanes. And if you did just join us, 43 unanswered points by Virginia Tech. But folks, in the first quarter of this ball game, I mean, Miami turned Virginia Tech every way but loose. But Miami just had this penchant for putting the ball on the ground. And 6 turnovers later, they are down 43 to 10. And this one's going to be touched dead at the 5 by Miami. Our Visa players of the game for the Miami Hurricane, Nate Webster. What a night. 15 tackles for the middle linebacker, caused the fumble that still resulted in a touchdown. And Anthony Bidget. How about a gutsy performance by a guy with a groin pull? 3 interceptions for him tonight, which tied an existing school record. So congratulations to Nate and to Anthony for their play tonight. I know that Nate would give up that player of the game and many of those tackles to have seen his Hurricanes win this football game.
Ron, this is a Miami team that's played a tough schedule. It started with Ohio State. They beat them. They had Penn State beaten. They lost that ball game, close ball game. They were 20-20 with Florida State at halftime. So young football team with a lot of future. Santana Moss has already told his position coach, I'm coming back next year. And so they'll get their numbers. They'll keep building on their numbers. They've got a young football team, a young quarterback in Kenny Kelly. I know they're frustrated tonight, but they did a lot of good things. You mentioned it. The turnovers just took them out of the football game.
Well, I mean, literally in the first 15 minutes, they came out and hit Virginia Tech in the mouth. And I'm not sure that Virginia Tech was ready for what happened, but then you can't turn it over and then lose your quarterback to boot, in and out with injuries. And ultimately, a really good Virginia Tech team just took them over. And don't forget, coming up next Saturday, Mike and Adrian and I will be, well, College Game Day starts it off in Purdue at Indiana, and then we have the Iron Bowl down in Auburn, Alabama. And Auburn, in case you didn't hear, with a huge win in Georgia today over Georgia. So that one takes on even more meaning.
He's going for a bowl now with that game next week.
A couple of other congratulations. Mike DeBose and his ball club knocking Mississippi State from the ranks of the unbeaten. And how about Mac Brown and his guys at Texas? They wrap up the South of the Big 12 Conference. That's an outstanding job by that staff out there.
And the reward is going to play Nebraska. Again.
Wonder what second place is.
Ron, the reason I feel like that Virginia Tech, after this ball game, all their fans can start calling New Orleans and booking a room is because they lost the ball game last year to Temple right here. And you never see what the good is of losing a ball game, because when they walked off that field, I'm sure they said, what good could possibly come from this? Well, the good is going to come. They're not going to look past Temple next week when they go to Temple, and they're not going to look past Boston College when they come here. So that loss last year will help them get on to New Orleans, and I think right now they're one of the two teams that'll be there. And he agrees.
So the Hokies will have a giant celebration here tonight. Blacksburg, I would imagine there will be no curfew this evening. We are under 60 seconds left on the clock. I certainly would hope not.
And who do you like in the Florida State-Florida game?
Until Florida started messing with their offense and their quarterback, I liked Florida not to lose 2 games at home in a year. I think Florida State will win that ball game.
I do too, and I think because they don't have a championship game, they'll be the team, and Lee Corso will be correct, because it'll be Florida State, Virginia Tech in the championship game.
Hell of a job, Michael. Hell of a job, Michael. Hell of a job.
39 seconds left.
Well, we talked about Lee Corso made that prediction at the beginning of the year, Ron, when not a lot of people would have picked Virginia Tech, although their schedule, everybody had them up there. But he came right out and said that's the way it's going to be, and he needs about one thing to happen. There's Lee Corso. He looks proud, doesn't he, as he's running there. Look at that jump. And all the fans, this is the first place where fans actually like him. Usually when he goes on the road, they call him a lot of names. But here, because he picked Virginia Tech, he's a crowd favorite. He doesn't need any security here, but he's got one on his right shoulder.
Put time back on the clock, and I don't know why. This thing should have been fast-forwarded to 0. These guys love punishment. Miami's coming after the punter. Fair catch is signaled for and made at the 45. So we got 31 seconds left in the ball game.
Coaching, you always like your band to play this song. Give the old goodbye to the opponent and get it over with.
Those long stares on the Miami bench. off like a house afire, 10-0. And then Virginia Tech has come back with 34 unanswered points, or 43, I should say, as Peyton gets the carry. And that could very well be the final play of this ball game. 12 seconds, down to 11, and now 10. Virginia Tech 43 and Miami 10. Coming up next, Sports Center, and at midnight, Residence Inn College Game Night. For Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten, I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
Coming up on this here Sports Center, the BCS will be changing ASAP after several teams take unexpected hits. Ron Dayne wants the rushing record and also wants to rush to a bowl. Joe Hamilton does everything he can to stay in the Heisman race. Nebraska was in a good place to stay in the Big 12 race. The last heavyweight unification bout sort of tore up the sport, but Lewis and Holyfield and Judges are set to go again. The not always easy riders back in Portland's house, but Isaiah's on the other side now. Lawrence Phillips, step aside. You join in on the action. Sports Center's next.
Hi, my shirt was inspected by number 13. Remember that Sports Center promo with the pro wrestlers rubbing Larry Beal's face into a desk because they thought they were being shortchanged on stories? Maybe they had a point, because boxing's been pretty stupid lately, and we cover that.
Remember that Sports Center spot with Holyfield running our daycare center? Never mind about that. Boxing is in need of what Cal, Sammy, and Big Mac did for baseball. So, Kenny Vander and Lennox do the same for their sport. Let's go live to Las Vegas and our Andre Aldridge.
We are live at the Thomas and Mack Center, where Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis, along with the boxing public, are searching for a resolution. There's unfinished business that hopefully will be taken care of tonight right here. Now, there have only been 6 undisputed heavyweight champions over the last 25 years. The last was crowned right here in this building 7 years ago to the day. That was Riddick Bowe, who beat Evander Holyfield. Holyfield hopes to get that title tonight as he takes on Lennox Lewis. Now, when they fought 8 months ago, unfortunately, there wasn't much honor in the decision. And we bring in now my colleagues, Al Bernstein and John Saraceno. Al, how much pressure is on the officials?
Andre, I cannot remember a time in 20 years of covering boxing where there's been this much pressure on officials, specifically the judges, but also referee Mitch Halpert. If this goes to a decision, those judges better get it right. And not just the whole decision right. They better get every round right, because they will be scrutinized more than anyone has in any recent fight. And, John, a lot of pressure on them.
A lot of pressure on Evander Holyfield, too, Al. But I'm not so sure the scorecards are going to matter tonight. I just watched Evander Holyfield about a half hour ago in a live interview on television. And Evander's focus was not there. His demeanor seemed off to me, and I think for good reason. I think he realizes the daunting task confronting him here tonight. A bigger, younger, stronger man who can crack with both hands. I wouldn't be surprised if Evander Holyfield gets stopped within 8 rounds tonight. All right, well, we will have round-by-round scoring for you right here. We want to send it back to the studio now. For John and Al, I'm Andre. Now back to Bristol.
Thanks, guys. We'll hear from you later. Now, to football. A year ago, it was the gift Tennessee could not do without en route to winning the national championship. Arkansas quarterback Clint Sterner putting a pretty red bow on his fumble in the final 2 minutes, turning a 2-point Razorbacks lead into a stunning Volunteers victory. That's a memory Sterner was anxious to erase. He also wouldn't mind crushing Tennessee's hopes of repeating as national champs. To Fayetteville, Phil Fulmer, 6-0 lifetime against Arkansas. Arkansas up 4, second quarter. Team Martin is an athlete. Just 1 loss as a starter for Martin. 17-14 Vols on Martin's 15th career rushing TD. To the third, Volunteers up 10. Clint Sterner goes to work, scaring the opposition, hitting Boo Williams for the 53-yard touchdown. Razorbacks cutting the Vols' lead to just 3, 24-21. Same score in the fourth, 3:50 remaining. Sterner has all the time in the world and takes advantage. Anthony Lucas, a 23-yard score, the third TD pass of the game for Sterner, who also was not sacked. Razorbacks up 4. Same score, 2:12 left, Tennessee 4th and 2. T. Martin hitting Dante Stallworth, who lunges for the first down. The drive still alive. Same drive a few plays later, 4th and 6. T. Martin back, looking for Cedric Wilson, incomplete. Martin's bid to bring the back comes up short. Arkansas 4. Sterner looking to kneel and run out the clock. But Tennessee's Raynoch Thompson goes wild, hammering Sterner. Take another look. Thompson just drills Sterner, and Thompson makes an exit. And Sterner takes the knee, and you know what that means? Game over. And Coach Houston Nutt feels like a nut. He's ecstatic, and Arkansas pulls it off. And it's redemption for Clint Sterner. Arkansas destroying any Tennessee hopes of repeating as national champs, and at the same time puts himself in position for a bowl game. To Vols coach Philip Fulmer, we were outcoached and outplayed. For Clint Sterner, it was an emotional experience.
I feel like last year, you know, what happened wasn't right, but the Lord works mysterious ways, and you know, I've learned a lot since that deal, and I've gone through a lot since then, and this is just the icing on the cake, man. It's great.
Big win that you've been associated with you?
Yep, the biggest. Now, I'm a senior here, you know, I only lost 2 games in my whole career as a starter, so my head is not going to go down. You know, I can't really speak for everybody else's emotions, but I feel like I had a good career here at Tennessee, and I want to leave off with it being positive.
As seen on ESPN, Miami and Virginia Tech. Miami's Jarrett Payton going to number 34. Nice touch to honor his late father. Second quarter, Hokies down 10-7. Michael Vick, Chiron Stith, open space, creating some more on his own. 41 on in. 14-10 Virginia Tech, now it's 20-10. Ricky Hall, he's got the punt at the 34. An electric football, flying through people, gets some blocks late, cuts back. 66 yards on in, and it's 27-10. Tech in front. Miami ball, Clinton Portis has it, share, and he does to the other side. Ike Charlton going the other way. 51-yard fumble return on in. 34-10 game, and adding some more. Now it's 36-10. Andre Kendrick, he's got a hole, and now he's going to lose the football. Andre Davis, kind of a late little rugby play. Knocks it forward. Davis falls on it. They count it. Tech scores 43 unanswered points, 43-10. Virginia Tech 9-0, defeating the Hurricanes for the 5th straight time. And Virginia Tech looking for some love from the Seattle Times poll now. The Hokies beat Miami and Syracuse by a combined 105-10 score this season. Kansas State, unbeaten, playing Nebraska. First quarter, not a score. 1st and 10 Nebraska, K-State's 30. Eric Crouch kept it off, and in fact, he carried it 27 times. Set a record for Nebraska quarterbacks. He's on in, 7-zip. Second quarter, now 22-6. Frankie London going for 2. And he gets smashed at the goal line, but he's up and in at 24-6. Now it's 34-15. Adam Helm has people in his face. They say he looks 10 pounds heavier on TV. He looks 280 pounds heavier. And it's Eric Johnson bringing it in. 41-15. 41-15 is your final. Nebraska giving Kansas State its first loss of the season. That's new. This isn't. The Cornhuskers have now won at home against Kansas State 16 straight times. In each case, the Huskers have scored 35 or more points. We looked it up. Nebraska is now in first in the Big 12 North.
Last year for Ricky Williams, it was about making up for lost time. A fullback his first 2 years at Texas, but bloomed to become the NCAA's all-time leading rusher and the winner of the Heisman Trophy. Today in Wisconsin, a handoff would take place from Ricky to Ron. The record, 99 yards away against an Iowa team ranked 109th in rushing defense. The Heisman now in reach, too, for Ron Dayne, as well as the Big Ten title. 29 seconds left in the first. Wisconsin up 7-zip. Ron Dayne from the 1. 63 career rushing TDs for Dayne. Ricky and Travis Prentice on the record with 72. 13-0 Badgers. It was 13-3, 60 yards to go for the great Dayne. Getting the handoff and just muscling his way, looking for space. That would set up a Chris Chambers 16-yard...
Hey, welcome to ESPN2 Outdoors. I'm Tommy Sanders, along with Angie Thompson.
and our host here, Con Smith, right in the heart of beautiful downtown Logan, Utah. And I mean beautiful downtown. This is as pretty as the downtown gets, and we're right here in the middle of the Logan River. And I tell you, folks, it's going to get cold here pretty soon, being the end of fall and winter coming on. And, of course, all through the year, or at least through the spring, summer, and lots of the fall, you got that great dry fly fishing around here. But people have to sort of throw the fish a little change up when it gets cold, right?
Except for midge fishing, and midges are very, very small. They'll come out during the winter, but most of the dry fly fishing ends, but there's always the nymphs.
Really?
Constantly nymph
You
fishing.
always rely on that.
Right.
So do the fish that live, say, in this stream right here, do they get to eat all winter long? They get something to eat?
Yeah, they become a little less active,
Yeah, I bet.
you know, because of the cold and everything, but they still feed whenever they have a chance.
Tell you what, we're coming up next on a place that also gets very cold in the winter, Crested Butte, Colorado, with the real guys playing a surprise visit on Kid's Sister. Let's watch.
Welcome to Crested Butte, a National Historic District. And we're just now coming into town.
Well, you know, I don't remember inviting Ken up here. I think I remember him saying, we're coming.
I was very fortunate that my sister had the foresight to marry a guy who could make a decent living. He was smart enough not to go into medicine, and he's able to build a nice home up here that we can come leech off of.
I am one of Ken's 3 sisters. I'm the middle sister.
Everybody out there thinks these shows are simple to do.
It has been so much fun to watch this little dream of Ken and Tommy just unfold before their eyes.
Here's what we do to get some fake water noise. Although this is not fake, this is real.
He kept saying, well, we're bringing this person, that person, this person, that person.
We're at 8,800 feet, Playboy, in case you didn't know. 8,800
And I'm
feet.
still breathing.
I know.
Most of the things you hear on the Real Guys will be actual, real noise.
So I'm just glad to have them and glad to share this little piece of heaven.
Now what you're going to hear is the sound of a fish getting off of Tommy Nelm's line.
There you go.
That was fun, though.
Next is a vicious strike on Hoot Forward Fly.
Last year, the Real Guys did not make it to Colorado, but I went back and looked at some of our old footage from Telluride. And Tommy and I were anxious to get back out to Colorado, and I was really interested in fishing with Mern Judson because our only previous contact with Mern was when he tied some white buffalo flies for us. So we came out and met him, and we were not disappointed.
Fish working in the back, fish working about a third of the way up and a third of the way out.
Yeah.
Your bigger fish, of course, are probably going to be over on your right-hand side here. There was another one right there.
Yeah. The thing that's great about Crested Butte, besides the creeks and the small rivers and the places we've been fishing, is it also offers you some fishing with slow-moving deep water. And we got lucky enough one day to fish that, not too far from town.
Oh, there you
I knew the fish was somewhere, Hoot.
Right in the top.
Oh, well.
Took your dropper.
You sure did.
See, I think the trick there is getting to that broken water. Otherwise, they were seeing it.
Yeah, I think so, too.
There is a fish in here.
What do you got there? A little brown? A little brown, I think. May pass into those pretty colors. Kind of get the sun on him. Yeah. A little bitty one. You're right, landing in that broken water, I think it made us a little more.
Right.
Made us
Yeah.
more tricky.
Gave us a little camouflage. That slick water back there just didn't afford us any camo.
Well, these Real Guys came here to Colorado after doing some saltwater fishing, I guess for tarpon and bonefish. And They come with the big rod attitude and double haul and throw a lot of line. And so we've been working real hard on shortening that cast up, throwing a little less line, getting a real accurate, delicate presentation going here. And they've come a long way in 3 days.
You're tending to get too much. You're generating your line speed with your haul.
Yeah, rather than the tip.
Okay. And you're taking your rod tip way too far back, so it rises in front of you.
Rises, yeah.
Notice how